Rattle, rattle, thunderclap, a boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, it's your CarX man. That was such a cute commercial. Hello, good people. Greetings, greetings. Welcome and all that good stuff. Nice to see you. Happy Friday, TGIF. It is the day that normally ends for February, but because this is a leap year, we have one more day, which is tomorrow, the 29th. So that gives the title of the show Leaping into Leap Year, because that's what we're doing. We have a leap year this year. I do not recall the last one. Something happened. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I don't recall. Let me post some links here I'm supposed to be doing. Let me find my links. And while I'm doing that, I can kind of stay focused. It's not as easy as some people think. So sometimes I'll be reading something and saying what I'm reading. That's how it is for typing. I will start typing what I'm hearing. So sometimes I just have to stop, greet the people in chat room, and then get back to talking. Hello there, DJ Snoop Snoop in the house. Callie Jane, how are you? Michael Carter, thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate it, appreciate it. I am about to share the stream. I was not on point today. I was supposed to have all this stuff done. I didn't. Shame on me. It'll be all right though. I'll forgive myself. That's the main thing. Once you forgive yourself about it, you can carry on. All right, let's see what we got. We got one. And let's see who else I got here. I got this place. Boop. And let's see. But I'm going to mention today I went to a place that well, I don't know if you can say it really makes a difference, but normally it's owned by it's a franchise that's owned by white people a lot of times. But they moved into the neighborhoods and it is owned by Indians. I'm like, wow, okay. And the first year you had blackface. That's all you had, black people. That was it. And I checked the place a couple of months ago and I looked, I said, wait a minute, where all the black folks go? And they had I guess taken the place back, over again. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. All right, I'll let that be. Whatever. And I went back today because I had to exchange an order. Because if I buy something and it's not right, I don't care what it is, I will be taking it back. And so I had to take this order back and have it replaced. And it was black people again. So I'm wondering if the Indians are working the weekday and on the weekends they give it to the black people because it's busier. Now, I could be, pushing it when I say that, but I think that's what happened. Because that first year, it was all black people. And then for a couple of months, it went back to the Indians. And then now, the weekends, you see black people again. So, hey, I guess because of the traffic that coming through, they're able to communicate better. Because that's how it is with the stores in your community, those beauty supply stores. They're owned by someone else, and they'll have their token black person in there to deal with the people in the neighborhood. And I noticed that for the past, 20 years or so. I'm like, this is so strange. And, first thing I thought of was equal opportunity. And then I'm like, no, that's not what this is. This is, you got to have the people to be able to communicate with the neighborhood because those are the people that are shopping, those that are in the neighborhood. So I'm like, okay, well, that's how it is. That's how it is. But I didn't have any problem. I had my receipt. They replaced my stuff, and I'm like, cool, I'm all good. But I found that just so interesting. And I don't know how it is in your neighborhood. Probably the same. But if anything different, you can let me know in the chat room. And we are greeted by the lovely, which no, I don't say lovely. What here I say classy, classy
Classy.
Ruby.
Hmm. Hello,
Ruby.
hello, everybody. Sorry for my tardiness. I apologize. Uh, yeah,
What do you
got a
mean?
little.
I the one was tardy.
Yes, I love when that happens when you're feeling horrible because you know you're really extra late, and then because the other person was late too, it only makes you like a tiny bit. I love that. This is great. I mean, yeah, you're welcome. I'm on time. Actually, I was waiting for you. I was sitting there tapping my foot right on time, being like, "Where's Shar at?"
Okay, yes, here I
Hey,
am.
you gave it to me. You gave it to me. No, there was snow. We had weird like flurries of snowstorms. So like you could be caught in a snowstorm for like 20 minutes and then not be caught in a snowstorm again and then re-caught in the snow. It was I don't know. It was strange out there tonight. So you
Oh,
know,
okay.
yeah, it's Canadian winter for you. So
Okay.
yay.
Well, I hope it all works out for you.
Oh, it did. I left the house. That was my time. I'm going to count this one as my one time for March as well. And yeah, I'll see outside again in April when the snow's gone, hopefully. So that'll be great. Yeah, I've
Okay.
decided. I've outlawed outside until spring. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Is that good? Is that good?
Cool. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
How are things over there in wait, Chicago's the windy city, right? The windy city? Yeah.
That is correct. And we
Oh,
normally have our little tough winters, but they have been very mild. Very mild.
that would say I was happy for you, but I can't lie. I'm just jealous and a little bitter, you know? Yeah, no, it's like
Oh, don't be
yeah,
like that. Oh.
definitely a sore loser. Definitely. I, I don't know what to tell you. I know, petty. What can I say? It's what it
It's
is.
okay. It's
Yep.
all right.
Thank you.
Um, but with the people I have in the room, I'll go ahead and make my announcement, and I'll make it throughout the show. My announcement is tonight will be the last NeoSector for Women stream that I will be hosting. And what I'm going to do is concentrate on my channel. So, um, yes, that's what I'm end up doing. Unfortunately, the traffic here has not been well in the last 60 days because I've been monitoring it. We have not had any donations. Oh, excuse me. I didn't drink my tea. And that's another reason why I was late. I was getting my water and tea and stuff. But we have not had the support that is needed to run the channel. So that's why I made the decision. So um, this will be the last one tonight. So I'm going to end up
Oh.
migrating over to my channel, which I didn't want to do, but I'm going to.
Hmm.
And that's that. So, yeah.
Hey, it's always sad to close a chapter on something, I mean, I get it though, and I think everyone gets it. Like, I mean, you got a lot on your plate, man. You're doing a lot. You are doing so much. So I kind of understand. You like I'm already running one channel. I can't run two channels, and yet less. That's got to be. I mean, man, we need to hire a whole team of people under Shar right now for Shar to get a little bit of support, y'all. So you want to start the GoFundMe on that, okay? I will give you the details. Y'all let me know. I'll let you know. Okay, yeah. No, but yeah, it's sad to close a chapter, but I think that's understandable. I mean, I don't even know how you do all of it. I can't even run my one channel. So, like, I try. I keep promising I'm gonna like put out any new content at all. Just one thing. I haven't managed to do the one thing I said I was gonna do and put out one video all year. It's been 5 months since I released the last one. So who I can't criticize. I can't even manage one channel. I'm surprised that you've been able to do as much as you've been doing for so long. So that's crazy. So, I'm glad you came out though. Give us our last hurrah, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I've it's been a pleasure, I must say. I do enjoy helping people, and it's I've just looked at it overall. If you're running a business, you have to look how profitable it is. Sometimes you won't turn a profit. Sometimes you just break even. But looking at everything overall in the last 60 days, it's just not worth it. So I'm just going to
Mhm.
invest the time in what um, is breaking even. And
Right.
right now, that is the channel that I'm doing, and then the other platforms. So I'll
Hmm.
be doing that. Um,
Well, yeah, what did they say? They say that if you diversify too early, that is like
mhm.
the surest way of going broke entirely, right? And bankrupting all of the businesses is by it's like, you could have a really, really successful restaurant. If you decide to make that into a chain too early, you could actually bankrupt all of them. Right? And the one that was doing well, yeah, you could bankrupt all of them just by, diversifying too early. So maybe this was just like it was too early to, have too many different YouTube channels, at least for now. It's like, yeah, just keep focusing on building and strengthening the one. And hey, you never know what the future will hold. But did I hear you say we are still gonna get live streaming Shar? But just on your channel. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes, I'm gonna
Yes,
go ahead and do it.
yes, yes, yes. Haha. We still win. Okay.
Yeah, I'll still go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens. Now, the vision I have for that channel from the beginning is to get my subs going, have some live letters, which is actually a person that actually says, I'll come on the show and we'll have a discussion instead of just me reading a letter. But at times, I also wanted to read some of the letters and get people to talk about the letter. That is the vision I have for the channel.
Oh, that would be cool. I love that idea. Because there are times where I'm like, honestly, I don't think that like where you can leave comments, I don't feel like there's enough characters that I have there to give my full feedback, right? Like me being able to talk for 5 minutes about it would be far more appropriate. Like that is amazing. It's like you came up with like my idea for your channel. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's in my opinion, it's kind of unique. At least I haven't seen it around. And if so, okay, that's fine. Um, and then people, it's opinion. That's it's always opinion. You can't if someone says my husband cheated on me, should I leave? I'm not going to tell that person, yes, you should leave, girl, because
Mhm.
I don't know. 'Cause people have what is it? Their side, the other person's side, and then the truth.
Right.
So a lot of times you can't just give a definite answer, but you can discuss some things,
Mhm.
give them some options, and they can make the best decision for themselves.
Yes, yes, I love that. And the great thing will be is that if you don't have an opinion on something, I don't mean you, I just mean anyone listening or whatever doesn't have an opinion, they won't chime in. But if they happen to have experience in something, they can chime in with their experience and their knowledge base. And so, you're kind of like crowdsourcing ideas too, which is awesome.
Hmm.
Very on trend these days. Like there's a whole TV show where someone crowdsourced, and apparently they're doing this a lot with like medical issues because there are a lot of people who have very rare diagnoses, right? Which means they're going to go to doctors who know nothing. They've never even heard of this or that there is something like that or whatever. And so, people are putting it to what Reddit or all these different online places, and then that's where they're actually finding answers. And so doctors have been actually doing that. Interestingly enough, they have been turning to the crowd and saying, hey, I got a patient, or some newspaper person did it, and that's actually the person who got the TV show. Hey, I got a patient, and this patient has all these symptoms.
Hmm.
Anyone have this particular, like it's got to be exactly this, and then a whole bunch of people write in, and of course you're gonna be filtering through sometimes millions of answers, but then you get like maybe five or six that sound exactly the same, and you're like, oh,
Hmm.
hey, so like in that way, a bunch of people are going to have similar experiences, but someone might have something dead on to whoever, wrote the letter. Like, hey, I had that dead on experience and this is what I did. Or I had that dead on experience and then I did this and then that didn't work. So I ended up doing this. And,
Hmm.
like you kind of get that feedback of everybody. Like I think I think it's going to turn out so well. It's going to be something that's going to be able to keep building on itself. That's so cool.
Yeah, because some things that I get the letters, I have some experiences on it, and I'll give that sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I'll won't share it, and then sometimes I know someone to have an experience. I'll share that. Sometimes I don't,
Mhm.
and but to have it as a live stream, it will be really cool.
Mhm.
Um, I think it'll be genuine. And then it's not just me, you'll get, my feedback, but you'll also hear some other people. Because
Mhm.
like if someone talks about being married, I haven't been married and I don't count I can the closest I can say, I live with someone, I know how it can be waking up and all those type of things. You're sharing household and all of that. But sometimes, well, no, not even sometimes, that union is different. That state union is different. So
Mhm.
I can't, comment on that. I can
Right.
say, well, this is as close as I got. This is what I've experienced, blah, blah, blah. We have someone that's married. Look, girl, I did this, I did that, and
Right.
this, that, the other. That little bit of information or that, additional information rather can make a big difference,
Mhm. Mhm.
and because I've always been one that like to solve problems, um, not one to solve puzzles, but one to solve problems.
Yes.
And it is a difference because um, I never really enjoyed testing in school because it made me angry. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing. Jack and Jill went up the hill. He had four apples and Jill had two. He took a bite, and a third of it fell down, and she threw half at him. And then he took two more bites, and that took another eighth. I'm like, don't give me all that. What I need all that for? What do you want? So, I don't like that type of stuff. But solving problems, yes, because it helps people. It enriches their lives, and
Right.
I do enjoy doing that.
Mhm. Mhm. You know what? It kind of reminds me. It's like what, and we haven't been able to do very often, but because we just did it, I got to, reinvigorated by it. But when me and Mocha and Poetic Kells get together,
Hmm.
because you've got, just take three different life experiences. Mocha got married very young, and she's been married for a really long time. And, you got me, who, been a serial monogamous, but only been married 10 years. And then, you
Hmm.
got Poetic Kells, who, at one point she was like single, now she's in
Hmm.
a new relationship. So it's like you get those just three different perspectives alone. And then we talk about some relationship issue. And it's not like a specific person's question, right? But still, you get three completely different answers. Or even it might be the exact same answer, but for three completely different reasons or some variation. And I'm like, but that's not helping a specific person, or that's not like a specific question, you know? Because I'm thinking if you can get such variation just on, a topic, you imagine this question where it's like someone's gonna say, "What do I do when?" Or, "I'm going through this and help me figure this out." And it's like, you know, now like you said, you have that one experience, but like you can get just by having, a few people, you can get wildly different life experiences that are going to come into play here and give a little bit of feedback as far as what they think the answer is, and they're basing it on their life experiences. And um you're going to find, I guess, depending on the people listening, right? Like, I don't know, I guess for me, if I'm asking the question, hey, maybe if I'm asking a relationship question, well, maybe the person who's been married for
Hmm.
longer than me is going to be the person I'm going to want to listen to because I'm married. So hey, I want someone who understands that added, ball and chain of I do or whatever, right? Like it's just
Uh-huh.
like it's a little bit different. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be something really different because I can't even think of something close. I can't. I honestly can't think of something close where, sometimes you get call-in shows or whatever, but no, this is different because people get they're they ask deeper questions and more, I guess, genuine kind of questions when it's through a letter because they can remain anonymous. You can't hear their voice.
Hmm.
You can't figure out where they're from. That's not where the interest is coming from. So they can just sit there and they can really pour their hearts out. And I think that that is going to be a big thing. That's going to make a big difference here. Ah, I can't wait to see how you do this, Shar. I can't wait to see. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited already. I gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Mhm.
That's my vision for it. To actually have it to be, actual panel discussion for it. So we'll see.
Mhm.
Also, so for the first show, it will just be, open topic, and also one, may pull a letter and see what the audience and see what they say. From
Right.
the letter I pull, get the comments, get the
Okay.
conversation going. And I haven't decided to start that off or end it. The show with it. I haven't decided, but I'll sleep on it, as they say. I'll have one answer.
Exactly. No rush. You've got what, like 20 hours? This could be great. You're fine.
All right. No rush, no panic.
Exactly. Yeah. Got all day. Hey,
All
listen.
day, all day. Okay.
Man, I have made way deeper decisions in way less time than that. You're gonna be just fine. Don't worry.
All right.
Mhm.
Good deal. Let's see. When you were coming in, I was talking about an experience I had. I just noticed that a lot of the stores in the neighborhoods are not black owned, and you'll have that black face there,
Mhm.
representative to deal with the customers
Mhm.
when they cannot. So I found that interesting. I was sharing that when you came in. Um,
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, I find, at least for me, the one place that I really see that is in black hair stores, right? Is
yes.
I've never seen a worker really in the black hair stores, or that's Chinese or something, right? But I've never really seen very many owners that are black. It's always like, well, okay, I Chinese or Korean here, in all fairness, own all of the hair care stores. They're always the ones that are behind the cash, or the owner. You want to talk to like owner management, it's always going to be some Asian face, right? But every one of the
Yes.
workers is black. Every single one of them, from the person sweeping, person
Mm.
putting stuff out, it doesn't matter. They're all black faces. So it gives you the feeling when you first walk in that, hey, this is a black store. It's for us, by us.
Hmm.
But it's not really. There's just a lot of black employees, a lot of girls who are there just because, they want the discounts and stuff like that, right? And so they're willing to put up with, I mean, I've heard some really racist details as far as why it is, for example, all of the employees don't work behind the cash because they don't trust black people, right? So they think, oh, black people steal and whatever. So they don't trust their black employees behind the till, for example.
Mm.
I've heard stuff like that. Yeah. So that's why all of the black employees are on the floor and they manage the till. Because they'll have more than enough people inside the store. Like, it'll be like a dead day in the store. They'll have actually too many people working. And then some emergency will happen, and they'll be like, well, I can't leave right now because someone has to be at the cash, and my husband and my son and that other little Asian boy, they're not working today. Like that, right? Like, what about the
Ah,
14 black
okay.
people you have here? Nope. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Black people don't touch my money. Yep. So I'll hear stuff like that. And so, as much as you've got the black face representing, there is
Hmm.
no, it's not like a partnership. It's not a cooperative kind of thing. It is literally a subordinate kind of thing. They're okay with having a bunch of black subordinate faces, to make them look good, and to, lull you in. Buy from us because, we support you. We love you, black people. Come on, come spend your money here. But yeah, no, they don't like us. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but they don't like us. I am more willing and quicker to say that they don't like us over white people. And now, I don't live in America, in all fairness, right? But I'm gonna say it here.
Hmm.
Asian people do not like us. I like, I will see a white person quickly smile at me, or a little old white lady, less scared of whether or not I'm going to steal her stuff or stuff like that. But Asian people do not
Hmm.
like us here at all. Mm-mm, nope. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I think they've been trained because I found the same thing. Just not paying attention and paying attention. I found the same thing, and it's kind of jacked up. And I find there the Subway sandwich shops, the Dunkin Donuts shops, and besides the hair supply stores, they seem to be owners of that. And I did want to mention that I don't know what happened with Dunkin Donuts, but something happened because their coffee has changed, and I don't know what's going on, but it sucks. That coffee sucks now. I'm like, what happened? And because I have the app on my phone, I used to get the coffee, but when I would go, I don't care if it was piping hot, just a little cream, whatever. It just sucks now. I'm like, what are they doing? So
Hmm.
I don't know what's happening, but I think I have $1.20 left on that app. Might buy some donut or something, and then I'm done with it because it doesn't taste good anymore.
Now, when did it change? Because
Nation.
I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you, okay? And I'm not sure. Maybe Dunkin' Donuts is different in Chicago. I don't know. But the last time I had Dunkin' Donuts, which was in Brooklyn, and not that long ago, it was not that good. I'm not gonna lie. I've never thought Dunkin' Donuts coffee was good. I never understood why Americans thought it was good. To me, it was like it was watered down in a weird way. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So
Well,
I'm just
I'll
wondering when for you it changed.
okay. I'll give you a little history of the Dunkin' Donuts. It
Okay.
did taste fairly well for a while, up until maybe 2011, I think. It started changing. So they introduced dark roast.
Mm.
Once they introduced the dark roast, that tastes better.
Hmm.
That actually tastes the way coffee should taste.
Right.
And then 20, let me see, this says 2020, 2019. I would say late 2018. That's when the dark roast started changing. And it wasn't so bad that you just wouldn't buy it, but you did kind of know a difference.
Mm.
And I will say, DJ Snoopy, McDonald's coffee tastes better.
Yo, McDonald's up their game. I
Yeah, they upped their game. They really did.
I didn't believe it when I heard. It wasn't even that long ago. Someone told me like they were done drinking. I can't remember what brand up here, and like they're gonna drink McDonald's. I'm like, oh, McDonald's coffee. Like that was the worst of the worst. That was swill. Like you were convinced that they made McDonald's coffee in such a way that they were trying to convince people not to drink coffee. Like it tasted like soap or something. It was the worst coffee ever. And then their coffee's good. Like they did something. I don't know if they started stealing Dunkin' Donuts coffee or like something and switching it out, but their coffee's good now. It really is. I hate to give them that credit, but it's some good coffee. Like,
Well, they had changed it, so the McDonald's coffee did taste better. And
mm-hmm.
then, what's the next thing happened? So, like I said, 2018, that's when it started changing. 2019, that's when it's like, I don't even want this free anymore. When, because you get a free coffee when your birthday come. I got it in different places now. I bought coffee in one place. I got coffee in another place. They all were the same. They all sucked. And I'm
Ooh.
like, okay. So the last coffee I had a free one. I earned it through my points. It
Mm.
expired sometime early this month. And when I realized it expired, I had no emotion about it. None. And I'm a person, I like my free stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. We black. You know it's bad when a black person don't want it and it's free. Let's be real. I'm sorry, but it's true. Wow.
Yeah, it's that bad now. It's
Mm.
that bad. So I just say, forget it. I'm not interested in it. And I just wanted to share that because I'm wondering what's going on. And trust me, I travel to different places, and that coffee was the same, piping hot, just made, and it sat there maybe 10 minutes. I've had it at different times, and it all sucked, all
Mhm.
of it.
Yeah. No, it's not good. Like it. Okay, this is how that coffee tastes. Like Dunkin' Donuts coffee tastes to me. Being real, it tastes to me like what they did was they took real coffee, okay, and they poured 50% of a like filled the cup halfway with real coffee. And then they filled the rest of the cup with like not hot enough to boil, but like warmish water with coffee grounds, really, really minute coffee grounds in it. So that way, there's no way it could actually brew, but they were hoping maybe it would, so it kind of get that dirty water flavor to it. And then they mixed the two of those things together and then called it coffee. Now, that was my experience with every Dunkin' Donuts I went to, except for the one that I went to that reminded me so much of McDonald's coffee that I wondered if it was the same company, because it was that same soapy flavor. And I was like, huh, this
Mm.
one's different. And I remember my cousin telling me this was the best one in the city, right? Well, in the city nearby where he lives. So I said, okay, great. And it was like it was the same soapy. It's not coffee. I don't know what that flavor is, but whatever that is, I know what coffee tastes like, and this is an it flavor. And
Right.
yeah, and he said that was the best one. So I was like, okay. Again, and it makes me feel. It really does. It makes me feel like McDonald's ran a hustle. Okay. Now it was like a long con, right? They didn't tell nobody they were doing it, didn't tell no one they were interested in coffee. They didn't make any moves towards coffee. You would have no idea this was going to happen. And they ran a long con and they paid a lot of people of millions of dollars and to hustle a bunch of different companies into slowly buying up the stocks or bonds or contracts basically that they had with these really crappy coffee producers that they were
Mhm.
roped in with for so long, and got them roped in to with these terrible producers that they used to be roped in with. And the second the last company and the last stock or whatever was gone, so McDonald's was free, they jumped on great coffee and ran with it. Like, that's what I think happened, because everyone who went downhill and they used to have decent coffee went downhill around the time that McDonald's started coming up. Like, I'm telling you, I think they ran a long con. Listen, I'm sorry, guys. This is just for commentary and entertainment purposes. I don't mean it, McDonald's. Don't send nobody after me. Okay, I don't live near McDonald's anyway. There's no McDonald's in my city. You'll never find me. But no, anyway, for real, I honestly think they did. And I know that, like, it sounds hilarious, but I think that they really do these things.
Mhm.
Um where they run hustles and stuff. And I think McDonald's coffee was terrible for so long, despite the fact that morning was such a huge producer for them. I think
Okay.
it's because they made a contract with, they probably had a contract with, let's say, three different companies that was they producing or providing them with the coffee beans, right? And it was subpar crap, right? Which is why they ended up, when they mixed it together, it just came up with subpar swill. And
Mhm.
McDonald's probably did some calculations. Yeah, it's just the worst. And they probably did some calculations and figured out that if they literally, let's say, lost 50 cents per cup, right? So if they started charging or losing 50 cents per cup in just production alone, that they would
Uh-huh.
end up making an extra $10 billion a year. Right? Like, I think they really did
Ooh.
the calculations because of how much breakfast business they do. And that's just with people coming through for food who hate their coffee.
Mhm.
And I'm
Okay.
sure, right? So they probably imagine every one of those people wanting a coffee. They get a small coffee, but now they're going to upgrade that small coffee to something bigger. And then on top of that, being able to get all of those people who are going through for drive-through coffee to come to their place for drive-through coffee, and then to upgrade it with a McMuffin since they're there. Come on, right? Yo, I'm telling you, they did the calculations. They figured out that they don't, I'm going to lose a million now, or even a billion now, to make 9 billion by the end of the year. And I think that that's what they did. But they had to get out of the contract they were in, because I think they were in a very long-term contract with a
Yeah.
bunch of producers, because they thought, who cares? It's just coffee. People will drink whatever. Not thinking that the coffee, drive-through coffee business was going to boom the way it did. right?
Mhm.
And they needed a way out. And I think they figured out a way out, but they had to come up with the hustle. Listen, guys, let us off the hook if we get someone onto the hook for you. Yeah, no, I think that's really what they did. I do. I know it sounds hilarious, but I honestly think, because I think that that's how you get that weird soapy pea flavor into coffee. I think you take too many different kinds of beans that are produced from
Mhm.
too many different places and whatever, and aren't meant to mix together, and you mix them together. That's how I think they get that flavor. I honestly do. I don't know. This
Mm.
is all
Mhm.
speculation. I don't know shit about coffee. Let's be real. But I'm just saying, this is my totally uninformed opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving them alone. And DJ Snoopy had mentioned that the difference would change when they invested in the brand of the Mac Cafe. And I will say the it's two bags. It's one is a let me see, what was it? No, I'm thinking of the Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' Donuts have two color bags. One was like pink, I think, and it's another color for it. The one you buy in the store is, I think that's the one that's the pinkish one. And then the
Mm.
one you buy in the actual Dunkin' Donut was another color. And I even tried that to see if it was a difference. And unfortunately, it was too old in the store.
Mm.
That coffee was old, so I'm like, man, I had $20 worth of coffee that was worthless actually. So, but I've tried different things and it's just not working. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave them alone. But I love Pete's coffee, and one of
Oh.
the location that Pete's had closed up, and it was so funny. It was a Saturday. I was tired. I had my bags and stuff. I did my, all my shopping and everything. I'm like, okay, I'm going home, relax, eat a little something, relax, and get ready for this live stream.
Mhm.
So I was walking to the bus stop to get to, yeah, I was walking to get to the bus stop, and I looked, I'm like, man, here's the coffee place, here's Pete's. I should go ahead on in there and get my coffee. Because what happened is I had bought some on my way to work that Friday, and it wasn't that good. And I thought that was very odd. And the faces that was in that store was different.
Right.
Their app wasn't working. And I'm like, what is going on? So
Mhm.
I'm not gonna, I just can't waste money like that. I gotta go back. So I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, there's no physical receipt because I did the app. She said, no problem. She said, you want one now? I said, well, I can wait until I go to work Monday. I stopped. She said, today, no, she said, tomorrow is our last day. I said,
Oh.
what? She said, for this location, we're closed. She said, oh, she said, that look you got on your face. I am so sorry I told you that. She said, oh my goodness.
Mm.
I don't know what the look was, but it told everything. I'm like, what? She said, oh, I'm so sorry I had to tell you that. She said, you look so sad.
That's not.
I said, what I'm gonna do Monday? And and she said, I am glad I told you so you wouldn't have, stopped here thinking you're gonna grab some coffee on your way to work.
Right.
And I'm like,
Not no.
well, I guess I have to take the coffee then. Because I really didn't want any coffee Saturday 2 p.m. I just didn't want any, but that
Right.
was the only way I was going to get it. So what I did, I think I didn't add any cream to it and brought it
Mhm.
home, and I just warmed it up for later.
Yep. Yep. I do the same thing. I used to do that. I actually, what I would do is I would get it in, you could get it in cups, right? And then I would put it in Ziploc bags, and then and I could put it in the fridge. You can and well, actually, I would do it with steep tea, especially, and you can actually keep that good for a couple of days inside of the fridge in Ziploc bags. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. For all
I
y'all
would
people who
just.
didn't know. Yeah.
I was so sad, and I'm like, gee. So there's another Pete's that's um I kind of would have to go past the job in order to get it, and I just didn't want to do that. I like to get the
Mhm.
coffee, get on the train, get off the train, go inside. But
Right.
in order to go to the particular pizza, the other one, I would have to get off the train, go past the job, get the coffee, and then go back. And I'm like, I
Mm,
just didn't want to do that. So um, that's when I tried that coffee again from Dunkin' Donuts.
you know. Mm,
And I'm like, I cannot believe this. What is
mm,
this mess?
mm. Well, I was gonna suggest amazing coffee to you, but well, at least your city didn't get it yet. I don't know if your
Ah,
state did. Can't lie, because honestly, sometimes they'll try Tim Hortons out in outskirt cities to see how it works, or they'll try it in the biggest city. It just really depends. But Tim Hortons is our coffee, so that is
oh,
like, yeah, like the Webster's dictionary. The dictionary, for example, there's the term double double and triple triple in it. That comes from Tim Hortons coffee. Like a double double is two milks, two creams, two sugars, right? Triple triple, three creams, three sugars. These are Tim
oh,
Hortons terms, really, that were, I mean, yeah, sure, they're Canadian, but yeah, no, it's really Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is like the god of coffee, of drive-through coffee places. And then we have something called Timbits, which I think y'all call them donut holes. Um,
yes.
right? Yeah. Okay. So those are Timbits, right? Oh man, Timbits are just, oh, it's different when you call them Timbits. It's probably not, but to us, it's just because we have this little trademark name makes all the difference in the world. But yeah, Tim Hortons coffee is something like, and we used to do it when I was like a kid, like when I was like 12, 13 or whatever, we would have people come up from the States for like our conventions and stuff, right? And so they'd be like, yeah, do you have Dunkin' Donuts? Do you have, whatever the hell American places? We're like, nope. We're like, yeah, don't worry. We're getting coffee though. We're going to Tim Hortons. They're like, Tim Hortons? What the hell is that? Yeah, we're going to Timmy's. Timmy's, ha 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 ha. Right? And then they get the coffee. They be like, man, this is some good coffee, right? Oh, we know it's some good coffee. We know. And then they'd be like, oh, you could buy this to brew it at home, right? So they'd buy a few bags, right? And then we'd have to buy more bags and ship it to people and stuff like that. And like it got popular enough. They opened some in Buffalo, and then they opened some in various states, right? They had
Mm,
them in New York. Um, Actually, they had them in Virginia, South Carolina. They've had them like all over the states, in random various states. So like it was fun, like being able to go to the states, and I'd be like, oh my god, hey mom, we're on like a road trip. Mom, we can stop at a Tim Hortons soon, right? Like why? I don't know. It's so exciting. Um, but yeah, so we are slowly taking over in America as well. But it's like the one
oh,
thing we have. Give us coffee, okay? You take over all of our food, all of our retail, and like everything. We got coffee, and we're amazing at it. Deal. Yeah. So yeah, we're taking over coffee, and
all right.
yeah, but when you guys get it Tim Hortons, if you get one close, or if you ever come down to visit Ruby, I will definitely treat you to Tim Hortons, because like it's the god of coffee. You have to try Tim Hortons coffee. It's really good. And then we have Timothy's coffee. Timothy's coffee is like the high end. It's like not as expensive as Starbucks high end, but in my
Mhm.
opinion, better than Starbucks high end. So take it as you want it. I don't know. They got some amazing flavored coffees that like they're hazel. There's a it's called noisette. Now I think that's hazelnut. I don't know, but they call it noisette is the point, and it is the greatest coffee I've ever
Mm,
tasted. Still to this day, I will tell you, it's the greatest coffee I've ever tasted in my life. Yes, better than Tim Hortons, better than anything. Like it's the greatest coffee ever. We do coffee really well down here, so um, I would definitely love to treat you to some Canadian coffee. You just let me
okay.
know,
All
and
right.
I'm gonna get you hooked up on some Tim Hortons. I'm gonna, especially if they open one down there, I am sending you one of those Tim Hortons gift cards so you could try
Uh-huh.
it out, because it's It's to die for. I gotta say, I can't say. You know what it is? Because high end coffee is real normally strong or bitter or something, right? To let you know it's coffee. Tim
Right.
Hortons doesn't
Hmm.
do that. They're not overdoing it. It's coffee. It's coffee made well. It's good. Gives you the kick you need without not too much bitterness, not watered down or anything. It's coffee. It's good. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Okay.
coffee. Yeah, it's coffee. Like Canadians, coffee. Yeah, so it's good. So just
I'm gonna play this song. This is what DJ Music enjoyed that Crew Reality had made.
oh,
I can understand he makes so much stuff he doesn't know which song. So that is the song that he's referring to, Crew. Uh-oh, we got DJ Snoopy wants some coffee
Uh-oh.
now.
No, I came up
hey.
here. I came up here to cuss Ruby about her coffee choices. But sorry, your music choices are awesome.
I would
Well,
say
thank
bring
you.
it. Ha.
What's up, y'all? Hey, Sean. Hey, Ruby.
How
Greetings.
you doing, crew?
Yeah, but no, do you know we have Hortons gas stations out here, all the way down to Tennessee and everything, and they sell Hortons coffee. I didn't know his first name was Tim, but they do all the same thing all across everywhere.
No, I don't think Hortons. No, there's not. It's Tim Hortons and your Hortons gas station are two different things. 100%.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just saying because they do that. I've seen it internationally. You know,
Oh,
it'll be a Burger King over here, but it'll be just like a king, uh, uh, you know, a small cow, a calf's prince over here. You know.
well, no, no. I mean, when it's Burger King, if Burger King is internationally known as Burger King. Uh, what Burger King offers might differ from country to country, but in and of itself, it's still called Burger King
No,
across
it's
the board.
not. That's what I'm saying. It's actually not. I've seen Pizza Huts and I've seen Burger Kings in Ghana that are not actual Burger Kings.
Mm.
But I'm not gonna argue that point
Are
with
are
you.
they by Burger King though? Because see,
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're local
exactly
people because there's no copyright law in those countries.
right. But that's what I'm saying. But like Burger King, the actual company could open up a Burger King in Ghana, and then they'd call it Burger King. Is my point.
Mm.
They might have to change the name because the dude that was there with no copyright laws has precedent in that country.
Yeah, but you said there's no copyright laws.
No, not international. What I'm saying,
Oh.
like, no, if I'm in Ghana, whatever y'all call y'all restaurant in the U.S., hell, we can do that over here in Ghana. You know?
But well, I'll say this. So for example, there is a chain of restaurants called All Stars. There's a chain of restaurants called Applebee's. Both of those restaurants are not Canadian restaurants. And so we actually have Applebee's here and we have All Stars. Actually, there's literally in one city in Brampton, there's four different restaurants called All Stars. None of them are owned by the same people.
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
So
that's how they do McDonald's in the United States. And guess
right.
what? Y'all
Mhm.
took all our Applebee's and good riddance.
Oh, well, no, but my point is, right, is that I'm pretty sure with a lot of these things, like it doesn't really matter if there's already a restaurant that has that name. You can open up another restaurant with the exact same name. Like I
Yeah,
don't think
you
it
just
really
gotta be.
matters.
It does. You just gotta be in a different jurisdiction, a different place.
Mhm.
No, well,
Like,
I don't know, not here. Here, like I said, they're all four are literally in the exact same city, spelled exactly the same, not owned by the same company, not even
oh, that's
remotely. Yeah. Mhm.
that's the
Yeah.
extra shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the extra shit. Now I can see if one was in what's the city above Seattle in Canada, and then the city above New York.
I don't
I can
know.
see if it's like that, but it's still Canada, so it's one country. But you can't claim that in Australia unless y'all already doing business.
I mean, I don't know. I do know that a lot of the chains that you've heard of before, for example, like Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, do exist internationally under their
Yeah.
name. So,
No, I know that, and they serve different foods, but they paid a lot of money to not have
Hmm.
the people to get get their name back from the people in their own country.
could be.
Yeah, I just Googled Tim Hortons and it's in 3, 6, 9, 12 different states, but it's not in Chicago. So
See?
the
Yeah,
day
just like
will come.
Waffle House.
Yeah, when I would go to Texas, I would go to Waffle House. It was a big deal to me at the time. That was in the 90s, but I think now it's a not so much of a big deal. I
Oh,
think it's
really?
yeah, I think it had declined in taste. But I can't
And
prove that.
everybody else is serving chicken and waffles. All
That
the better
too.
restaurants got
Mm-hmm.
chicken and waffles.
That's
Hell,
right.
even up here in North Dakota, they got chicken and waffles at the hospital.
Yeah,
Mm.
some way or another. So yeah, that is true. What is the name of the track that I just played? Because it's just called
Uh,
hip hop. That when you sent it to me, it just says hip hop. There's no name on it. You
that
have a
is the
particular
name
name?
of it. That is the
Oh,
name of
all right. So it's hip hop. All right.
hip hop MP3.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever the file name was, I send you the files as their file names.
Okay. So that's what the name of it. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much for it. As people are liking it, and I am promoting it under the video. So
Oh, thank you,
Ah.
Shaw.
you are welcome. So if you get some start getting some hits on your channel, then you know why. They're like, never seen that
Oh,
person before. You'll know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna send them all to your channel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey,
Thank.
Shaw, do you know I've been working since like 7 this morning? If
No,
I
I.
may, if I may vent for a second, right?
All
No,
right.
not at a job or anything. But I've been telling you I've been building this computer, right?
Yes. Yes.
So all the parts came today, right?
Hmm.
So like, well, not 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock Cali time. But yeah. So I've been working on this computer. I got it all the wires put together and everything, but it will not show up on my screen.
Mm.
So which means I probably got a faulty motherboard, which
Ooh.
means I gotta wait a couple more days. If I send it back, then they're gonna send me another one. And it's like, golly.
Another week.
No,
Oh.
no, no, not a week. Probably be here by Tuesday.
And about time you put everything together, it'll be a full week.
No, no. When it comes to my computer and my own things,
Okay,
I'm
I'm gonna
selfish.
see. I'm gonna see.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
did. I went and shot all the videos and everything. Like I took about 30 clips. I'm holding the computer while I'm, putting it together and everything.
okay.
Like I went and did the extra. It really looks nice, and everything is in there. It looks nice when it lights up, but it doesn't show me anything on the screen. So I mean, you know,
Hmm.
I mean that's like having a fine model girl as a wife, and she sleeps in her own bed down the hall, down the street. Like, what's the point? And there's other men in the room with her. Like, yeah, what's the point?
Well, report to me next week on that. I like to know how this turns out.
I think it should show up by Sunday though. Um,
Okay.
if I can't get it done by tomorrow, because there is a place out here that I can have them check on it. And I
Hmm.
do have a few friends, so hopefully, because I wanted to be streaming to y'all, you know,
Hmm.
and put the video together and everything, and then hop on your stream, hop on, Cerulean stream. Actually, I
Okay.
wanted to hop on your stream with it in 1080, and then drop the stream about how I did my computer in the
Hmm.
morning before Psychopathia goes live. Then I'll be
Well,
chilling. I know I did my work.
okay. Well, again, there's always next week.
Well, at least I tried though.
That's right. Yeah. Well, thank you for that update. And I'm going to go to the next topic that I wanted to talk about, and that is since I started talking about the restaurants or whatever. Um, the makeup industry seemed to be doing very well because they've opened some more Sephoras and Ultas. Because I've been getting emails about grand openings, and I'm like, okay, folks losing jobs and healthcare and everything else, but makeup is, doing pretty well. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And things that are not doing so well, which I've been getting emails about that, and that is some of the restaurants, cruise lines, and concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that are declining in sales. And I am, not shocked at all because I know that's one of the first things that I would eliminate is um, entertainment.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So, Shar, what is the makeup about?
Beauty means every. Okay, I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah, nah, you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with it.
no, I'm just teasing. But seriously, people do things that make them feel better. And hey, they put some makeup on, they look better, they feel better. It is actually is something that does make us feel better. You get your hair done and all that, get all dolled up, as we say, you feel better. So, you invest a little bit more into that. So that's not going to decline.
Well,
But,
also, and I mean that's absolutely a fair point. I mean, there's this
Hmm.
show, Love is Blind, I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's like the finale of it premiered yesterday. And anyway, there was one of the chicks on it, right? So she's talking about the fact that she doesn't have any debt, like except for her school loans and then her makeup credit card, right? And he's like, you have this much debt over makeup credit card? Like what? Right? And she's like, yeah, makeup is expensive. Right? And it was like, what, that sounds crazy. Um, until you're there. And you have to buy makeup for anything. And when I say makeup, I mean a full face. So a wedding, a graduation, something where, it's more than just you get a little lip gloss and mascara. Makeup is incredibly expensive. And once you start wearing a full face of makeup to something, you can't not wear a full face of makeup to that thing. So if you're wearing a full face of makeup to work every day as part of your professional look, you can't just drop it one day because you're
hey,
gonna look unpolished.
if you got Instagram filters all day, you can't stop using the filters. Go buy that
Exactly.
makeup.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. When you don't, you're gonna look ugly and sick and tired, a bunch of things, right? And it's not
Not
because you
you're
are.
just not gonna look as expected.
No, you will actually, literally. That's what people will ask you. They'll ask you if you're
Hmm.
unwell. They'll ask you what's wrong, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're gonna make you look as if you're not. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're not as they expected you to look.
Right, which is fine, but if they just didn't expect it, like, oh, this is different, then that would be fine. That's not what it is. It's the fact that, and I'm telling you this as a woman, right? It's what they will assume about you. Because again, what happens is people don't the average person, women can see a lot of makeup on a woman's face, but men generally can't. So unless it's caked on really thick, men just see a pretty young, fresh, vibrant face, right? They see a little bit of makeup, obviously, in some places, but they don't understand how much makeup's there. And they don't really understand until they just don't see it there anymore. So they will assume, and that's the thing, like there must be something wrong with you that you don't look like you regularly do. They won't understand, well, yeah, it's because normally for you to look the way you always do, like, oh, I just woke up and always look 21. That there's concealer and foundation, highlight, low light, this, that. They don't understand how many things went into making you look like you have no makeup on your face. Like it's ridiculous, but it's true.
Hmm.
And right, just even covering up dark marks or under eye shadows and stuff. So I mean, a lot goes into it, and once you start, you can't stop, unfortunately. So I think there's that, but I also think it's winter. And but there, first of all, there's Valentine's Day, which was a big one. But also, no one wants to be alone in the winter. No one. Everyone wants to be paired up, and the longer the longer you're alone during the winter, the more you want to hook someone in for the winter. You know, like you're not hibernating yet. You need to get someone, which means you're going to be willing to up the ante, up your game, you know, finally pitch in and buy that highlighter that, you know, was too expensive before, but now suddenly sounds like a good plan, you know, stuff like that. Because, man, like you don't want to be the only one alone, still having to go out in the middle of the snowstorm, right? Because you're too lonely at home. So I honestly think that's part of it too. I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I know for YouTube, there's so many channels for makeup, and I mean, they do it so it looks so easy. You're fascinated, like, wow, I can do that, and it'll have you going out trying some different things. Plus, now they give you samples. You
Mhm.
buy so much, they'll make your face up for you. Sephora has a lot of little tiers where, you spend this, we'll do that. You got a big date coming up, whatever, prom, wedding, whatever. Spend this, we'll do that. Or you pay this fee in our membership and we'll do this. So there's a lot of little, things out there.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that's true. That's absolutely. And I'm telling you, like when I say like I know makeup is a big investment. A, I used to sell makeup. But I also used to do makeup. So I mean, I did makeup for like special events. I never did a wedding. Thank the Lord God Jesus. But I did do proms. I did photo shoots and stuff. And so I like it's a lot of stuff people do not even consider goes into makeup, especially if you're starting to try to get a professional look at all. You know, just like even just like for example, someone who has more you start getting a little bit older, start getting those little fine lines around your lip, then you need a lip pencil, a clear one at least, to go around your lip line. Otherwise you're going to get lipstick bleeding up those
Hmm.
cracks, right? So it's like this is like why would no one would think of needing that until you need it. That's really what it comes down to. Like, how come I can't get this
Hey,
finished?
Ruby,
Hmm.
That's the only reason I noticed these type of things, right? Because my pops owned a salon and a barbershop for 30 years,
Hmm.
like three or four barbers and like 10 or 20 girls in there,
Hmm.
stylists, you know. So I'm hanging in the barbershop, but it's all the girls over there, you know.
Right. Hmm.
It's like, so yeah, I picked all that up of how they were doing everything, you know, and they
Right.
picked everything up about how we did the cuts and all of that. So I don't know, that might have contributed to the studism in Chicago. I don't know, maybe they all
Hmm.
learned from my haircuts, whatever,
Ah, could
you know.
be.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it happens like that though. So, but yeah, I get what you're talking about. Like it's hectic, right? Everybody can cut their own hair, Everybody knows how to do that, but when you want to get it right, you're spending 50, 60, 70, $100 to get everything right, so you look right on that night. You know,
Mhm. Exactly. Yep.
I'm
So
talking
true.
about the men too.
Mhm. It's
They-
true.
it'll be a man doing their nails, or they'll get a girl to do their nails or something. You know what I mean? All right,
Mhm.
I'm done with him. Hey, Shantina, will you come do his nails? Type. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But he's still in the barber shop. You know what I mean? She'll
Right.
come over to the barbershop side and do his nails or whatever. And just give him the nice, you know what I mean, the clean nails, whatever.
Mhm.
Not no extra Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal, anything. But yeah, he'll be looking nice and smelling nice and go home, take a shower, put on his suit, cologne and everything. And that's how we roll out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then we'll be looking for the girl that came from the same shop, smelling the same way. Well, not the same way, but the girly way, you know? And she got the pink nails or the long nails, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's all the same. Any class knows class, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. Very true.
And I
um,
only talk to classy people, so
oh, okay. Go with your bad self.
that's
I'm
why
going
I'm
to share.
talking to y'all. That's why I'm talking to y'all.
I'm going to show a picture. I didn't realize someone wasn't joking. I forgot about this picture. I got to find it. May take a minute, but I received an email, um, and Chase had announced it, at least in Chicago anyway, that they were ending the paper receipts at the ATM, starting in March. But you are able to have some type of, you can tell them, hey, I don't want to opt out of that. Now, I don't know if they're going to do like a survey and say, well, we get so many people, we'll do that or what. But they said they're going to give you your information by email or by an app. And I know a lot of people, bank with the app. Not all people. Some people like the paper in their hand, which I just happen to be one of those type of people. So it's going to be interesting, um, how that's going to work out, because I'm waiting for the next person that's going to have too much money in their account or not enough. That's
Hold
what I
on.
want to see. And are they going to prove that? We shall see.
But the only thing I don't like about the apps
Hmm.
is that if you don't print them out frequently enough, they'll say you're lying and they'll have printed it out and you didn't.
Well, like I
You
said,
know,
it's going to be interesting.
but that's where screenshots come in.
And I wonder how that will work too, because there are some things that are blocked when it comes down to trying to film it. They'll have some type of uh, s- film over it where you can't actually take
Mhm.
a picture or anything. So I don't know. We shall see.
Mm.
Mhm.
Well, if I've told you what I did years and years and years ago, so sure, don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Eventually. That is the beautiful potato that I was asked to share.
You have to look at the screen to know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, and I know who asked you.
Yeah, that's the beautiful potato. Isn't it lovely?
I mean, it is a
Isn't it
beautiful, beautiful thing,
wonderful?
man. It is. It is a beautiful potato, man. Like that is lovely. Let's be real. That's that's more lovely than half the girls I went to high school with. Let's be real. It is. It's a very beautiful potato.
Yes, so lovely, 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 just lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad
Are y'all
that
talking
it got
about
a special
potatoes?
segment.
Are y'all talking about potatoes or eggplants? What the
Nothing.
hell, y'all? I know y'all got girl code.
No, we're not talking about anything.
Okay.
Just,
Well, I'm
just
not
mute
paying.
yourself and listen. Just mute
I'm not
yourself and
paying.
listen.
I'm not paying attention. Y'all. I'm just going on. I'm going on mute. I'm going on mute.
Okay.
Check in, mate.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm kind of wondering how it's going to work out with this paperless system because it's not really fail safe, and not to say that anything is fail safe, but like I said, I'm one of those people. I want paper. See
Right.
here, see. I went. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. Well, if I understand with anyone who goes paperless, it's not to say you won't get an invoice or, some type of invoice record sent to you or you can't.
Hmm.
It's just you won't get a paper one. So you get one emailed to you every month. So it'll still be your like a PDF sent to you monthly. So, which is not, they wouldn't be able to change it or whatever because it's a PDF. It's already, printed and sent to you. Um, so you would
But
have that
the
Hmm.
safety, I
problem
would
is,
think.
Ruby, you're trusting them, right? Instead of writing your own checks, or instead of you pull your own money
Balancing.
out there. Yeah, you're trusting them, and you're keeping it in your mind, right? Okay, I have $500 this day. I spent $20 today. I got $480 this day. Things like that, right? They can run it on you because they have the documents. You don't. Now,
Well,
unless you have all the receipts, that's the paper. The paper is the
wh-
receipts. So keep your receipts.
what's going to end up happening is the person that forgot they stopped and got $20. That $20 is going to end up costing them about $65 because they're going to forget and they're going to be off balance and they're going to write a check and something going to happen. They're going to have a fee and they're like, I forgot about that. Because a lot of us, like I said, I just do it the old fashioned way. I have my receipts at the end of the day. I go through them. I make my adjustments. I'm like, oh, okay, I spent this, I spent that. And just thinking about the number of people that do not keep up with their stuff. That's where they're gonna make some money.
But see,
Trust.
to me though, right? Like, okay, so I've been doing, I mean, I get lots of things sent to me in the mail. I don't even check my mail. Like my mailbox has gotten so full before, more than once, that Canada Post has had to give me, when like you get a special, like a large package delivered to you, so they give you like a key to go to the bigger area in the mailbox. Okay, they've given me that key multiple times just because of overflow, because I'm not checking the mail, because I don't open any of the paper mail. Because why? So now when it comes to things like, for example, my bank statements, or I check my bank balance on, I'll say, like, I don't know, twice a day, maybe sometimes, if especially if I'm spending at the time or whatever, because I can just go in, I can log, not only am I logging in, but I can literally confirm before I make a purchase, after I make a purchase. I can confirm at any given time, not only that I did make the purchase, that I was charged what I thought I was going to be charged, that, no double charge went through, that no one stole my bank card number immediately and started charging it in Vietnam somewhere or something. Like, I could look immediately online, and I
Yeah,
actually,
but that's what I'm saying. I can do that too. That's what I be telling them at the stores too. Hey, look, I don't need a receipt because it's gonna text me to my phone, right? But anyway, at the end of the month or at the end of 2 months, 3 months, they might have put some extra shit on you that you don't know and you can't even account for because you haven't been keeping your own records. All your own records are the online records, which they could switch at any time. That's all I'm saying, Ruby.
I'm just
okay.
thinking about the people that forgetful.
Well, see, but again, if you're checking your balance on a daily basis, then especially if you're
Hmm.
forgetful it's a lot more helpful that you can literally, before you make a purchase and after you make a purchase and before you're
Hmm.
about to make a purchase and whatever, you can always go and look and see immediately. If you make a payment from your bank, immediately it withdraws the money from your bank, even though it takes 5 days to process or whatever. So therefore, it's immediately going to be out of your bank account anyway, so you can't see it. Because that's why if you're a forgetful person, I always advise people, do not make payments through the company. You make payments from your bank, because then it automatically takes the money out right away instead of it waiting 3 to 5 days or whatever. Right. So for me, actually, I
Yep.
prefer to
Use your
pay.
debit card with your PIN. Use your debit card with your PIN number, and it automatically takes it out your bank. Let it do it like that.
I know two people that will be charged in no time that are
Mhm.
forgetful, that do not check. I
So
see
I
two
know
two
you're talking
friends
about.
already.
I know one of them.
But then they would be just as forgetful to check their paper records, right? So, I mean, this is the thing.
Yeah,
You can't help certain kinds of people. So, the kind of
right.
person who's not going to check any kind of record ain't checking any kind of record. Doesn't matter how easy or simple or basic you make it, right? The person, you don't even have to remember to bring the receipts with you or remember to get receipts or anything like that, because all you got to do is go check the balance at the end of the day, making it even easier. If you can at that point remember to just click log in
No,
or
but
just
what
open an app,
Shara's
well, then you're screwed anyway.
no, but Ruby, what Shara's doing is she probably got shoe boxes of receipts
Hmm.
to where she's okay. She don't care if you think she forgot. She's gonna spend the weekend and go correct you over that damn $12. You know, from
No.
2.5 years ago.
Yeah, but you're right, as well,
It's
Ruby,
good to
that
keep both.
you're right that there are people that you just can't help, but I
Hmm.
know this is gonna help them forget a little faster. I can
See,
see it now.
here's my thing, and this is actually, and this is where if you only make payments out of the directly out of the bank account, that means you're not allowed to write checks. Okay, you're not allowed to go to the company and pay the company directly, right? And say, oh, yeah, I'll pay you. Because a lot of times, for example, if you pay, there's some companies that basically, when you make a payment to them, it's almost like a wire transfer. You're paying through their website or something, so it takes a couple days to process. If you do that and you're a forgetful person, you'll forget you made that payment. Right, which means now hundreds of dollars about to come out of your account that you forgot is coming out of your account. So that's where I'll say, I'm like, there's only so much that you can help people help themselves. But, if you are a forgetful person, or you're lazy at accounting, doing all of your banking via online banking and only making payments through your bank, through your actual account itself directly, that's going to help you a lot. Just because of the fact that every time you need to do something, you have to literally physically go into the bank to try to get money, right? So it's like, oh, I got to pay this bill. You have to log in. It tells you how much money is there. So it's not going to let you make a payment without money that's there, right? And then as soon as you make the payment, even if the other company's not going to get it for 5 days, it doesn't matter. It takes it out of your account right away, right? Or if you want to pay for something in stores, again, if you're a forgetful person, you know what I mean? Then you can try the cash system, because again, it just comes down to trying to help you help yourself. So, you got to make it in such a way that the money automatically comes out of your account. And so therefore you have absolutely no choice but to be pinged immediately every
Hey,
single time. That's
hey,
all you can do to yourself.
here's what
Uh-oh.
Okay, that didn't work out.
Mm-mm. And it was going all right for a minute there, though. Uh,
Oh well.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, yeah. Shit happens. Shit happens. But yeah, no, I will say, and here's the thing. Um, to me, I'll say initially I did not agree too much I mean, I still won't do anything through the online banking apps, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know, I don't trust the app, so I actually use the website, and I use the website on my phone. So I'm still doing it mobile, but I'm doing it through the website. I don't know why that makes me feel more protected. It does. Um, right? Now, with that being said, though, this is actually better for me than before they had online banking. Without online banking, I literally had no concept of how much money was ever in the bank, like almost ever. Like, unless I was physically going to a machine at that moment to deposit or withdraw money, I had no idea how much money was in there. Like, there could be any amount of money in there. It could be a surprise. It could be a happy surprise or sad surprise. I didn't know. So this actually, it's been having the online banking's been helpful for me because I'm not the one who remembers to get receipts. I could never tell you where any of the receipts are. Um, if I get them, I remember to keep them. Keep them where? That's the question. Oh, I don't know. I have receipts from 6 years ago. What are they for, and where are they from? And what was I supposed to do with receipts once you keep them? I don't know, but I have some, I guess. Like, I would never, yeah, no, it didn't work for me. So this is, for me, online banking has been a godsend for me, right? And someone like me. But I can see how for like other people, like I can understand how, like, especially if you have a system that really works, why, taking away
Mm-hmm.
that paper bill wouldn't be a good thing, except if you get an email to you monthly, because they will email you a bill, or or
Mm-hmm.
they'll issue a bill and then print it out for yourself monthly. If you really need the paper bill, print it out for
Yeah.
yourself, put it in your files. You'll still have the paper bill. It's just they don't want to issue a paper bill when they've got so many people like me who will insist on getting the paper bill that I won't even open. Don't even open it. Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't. It's like but you must send it to me because it is my right to have it. I swear to God, that's why I get things sent to me, because it's my right to have my bill and paper. Yeah.
Y- Yeah, they're going to be able to save them some money.
Mhm.
They don't have to put any paper in the machine and all that. They're going to be very happy people. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, it's
Save a
a
tree.
business. Okay,
Mhm.
a tree
So I was like, no, it
here
isn't shit about the tree.
and
For
there.
real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to watch the news and see how many people have a lot of extra overdrafts and what type of
Mhm.
billions of dollars they're going to make because of that. But it's going to be interesting, and I'll keep my eye open.
Mhm. So that's for sure. If nothing else, right? Definitely
Yeah.
will be interesting. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
for all you know, though, it might go the opposite way. You know. I'm just saying, it could be the opposite way. Ruby might be right on this one. She's not right very often on financial things, but this could be the one. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm giving myself a modicum of a chance here. I'm throwing my hat in the race on this one. There you go.
Okay. All right. I'll announce again for anyone that wasn't here that tonight will be the last NeoSector for Women stream that I will be hosting, and it's due to lack of participation and support. Um, Today, I think is day either 59 or 60. I actually lost the count, but let's just round it to 2 months that we haven't had any financial support to the stream. And I said, okay, well, I believe in giving people what they want. If I don't get the support, then I just say forget it. And I will be going ahead and stream on my particular channel, the Just Act Shar Advice channel. And so we'll see how that goes.
Mm, I think it's gonna be good. If y'all missed the details, Shara's got some hot, interesting ideas of how she's gonna do this. I'm very excited, very excited, very excited. Mhm, mhm.
yeah, so we'll see what happened. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a last minute decision, but it really didn't take long to make the decision because once I just did crunch the numbers, as they say, it's just
Mhm.
just a good business deal to just do that. So, so I will be over there tomorrow. The links are in the description area, I believe. Um, Let me see. I think they are, and you can just follow me over there tomorrow. I probably let me see. Any other way I'm gonna make an announcement? Yeah, I might do on the channel. I might make an announcement. Um, yeah, I might do it that way too. I'll advertise, as they say, and I'll put my link over in the chat room for you, and I'll
Yeah, I
definitely
was
put
gonna say.
in the video too.
I hope y'all know where Just Shar is. If you didn't, y'all have been missing out. You got a lot to catch up on. Let's put it that way. Just saying. So better get to it. Get caught up while you still can before the first stream.
Whoop whoop.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll do that so people can get familiar with me streaming, and it will be leap year, making a leap
Right?
on, yeah, in leap year, making a leap.
Well, it's officially a leap year day here right now because we're past midnight over here in the Eastern world. So, yay! Happy February 29th to us East Coast people. Oh my God, guys. Some people just turned like 12, even though they're like actually 46. Isn't that exciting? It's so cool.
Yes, it is. It is.
I always thought that was awesome. I was so jealous of people born on a leap year. You have no idea. Like when I was a kid, I was so jealous. I wanted to be that special so bad. Like I didn't think about the fact that we made like it's such a big special deal because they only got to celebrate their birthday every 4 years. Like I didn't think about it like that, right? I was just jealous they got something so special, right? Like so I was an only child, okay? I didn't play well with others, and I definitely didn't share attention well. So now I understand. I was being petty and selfish. I'm sorry for you leap year guys, but at least even though you look old, at 72, you're actually really still only 20. Just remember that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a friend, her husband was born on leap year. So I'm not sure how old he is now, maybe about 7, I think, 8, I don't know.
Right?
But somewhere up in there, I don't know.
Like, that's cool. Like, I know it's probably not really to you Lepians, or I don't know, whatever you call yourselves. I don't, you Leptians? I don't know. Anyway, point is, I'm sure to you guys eventually you get to this point where it's no longer cool to you. The novelty's worn off, and I don't know, maybe I would love to hear from someone who's born on a leap year. Like, do you get over birthdays because you're just tired of having to celebrate everyone else's yearly when yours only comes once every 4 years? You're like, God, you have to really like, is this really a big deal? It happens every year for you guys, like or like, like, I'd love to hear
Hmm.
their opinions on what they think about birthdays. Really,
Yeah, because it's different for them. Anything special for them? Do they get, for that every 4 years, do they get a free, I don't know, meal? Do they get something
yeah.
extra, discount on their driver's license? I mean, I don't know. What's different for them, if anything?
Yeah. You know what? Like those places that give out free meals for birthdays. when it's a
Hmm.
leap year birthday, like, do they say not limited to only $20? Y'all can have whatever you want off the menu because we only have to do this once every 4 years. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I think it's kind of mean that you're going to restrict them to $20 like everyone else. Like, nah, they should be able to get the $60 plate. Why? Because what? That's like the maximum value you can go up to. That means technically you're still going to be saving by like $20. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's just, it seems only fair to me. They should get more than the rest of us.
Yeah, they're different. They're special. So,
Yeah. Hmm. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. All of you restaurant owners out there, if you had a $20 special going for them tomorrow, just think about how cheap you're being in the grand scheme of life for them.
feed
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, feed the people. Let them eat their steak and lobster. Come on.
That's right. They deserve it.
Exactly.
That's right.
Hey, I wonder if there's something cosmic and different about them. I guess it's something you have to ask Art. There's something like cosmic and different about the leap year people. Like, I'm guessing, they're still
Hmm.
Pisces, but with that being said, like, are they special Pisces? Because, they're born on the leap year and they don't exist most days or most years, like, how does that work? Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Right?
Inquiring minds would like to know.
That's it. We're gonna have to tackle Art and be like, Art, time for you to do a leap baby stream. Let us in on
Yeah.
the leap babies.
Yeah. You got any knowledge on that? Share with a friend. Share with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else I got on here. Mm,
How many people have overdrafted with receipts? Thank you, DJ Snoopy. Thank you. Just saying.
let's see.
And don't say
Yeah.
not money. Spare me.
Well,
You can
well,
donate too.
I do know people, so hey.
Right? You can't.
Communities. Mhm.
I was just
Go
saying
ahead.
you can't save those. You can't save some. Just can't. Like, the same people, like, whoever was messing up their finances, and financing and budgeting, with just the checkbook when they had to do the paper themselves and they didn't even get receipts.
Uh
They're
huh.
going to be messing it up the same way when they got receipts, and they mess it up the same way with online banking. They're just that kind of person, right? Like,
I
I
know.
know I'm a particular kind of irresponsible, and it doesn't matter what tools you give me. Okay. I have a calendar on my phone like everyone else. I've got a clock with an alarm on my phone like everyone else. Right. And if only I put the things into the calendar to remind me I had these things scheduled, I'd remember all of them. Now tell me that, can I remember to put the things into my schedule so I don't forget the things? No. If I
No.
was good at remembering shit, I wouldn't need to put it in the calendar to remember it. Do you see where the problem comes in? There you go. Now you got it.
Yes, it's understandable.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you can think of anything, this probably would be the last thing we speak of. Have you ever lost something that you couldn't replace, or you lost something and maybe you could have replaced it, but it just wasn't the same? And I will give you an example.
Okay.
Back in the day when um, there used to be cassette tapes,
Mhm.
and at that time you're able to, um, buy. I think it might have been a 3 pack. I don't really recall. This should come to you guys' mind, DJ Snoopy and DJ Music. And you had a cassette tape, heard your favorite tune on the radio, and you just had it set. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and record this when it come on. And you record your, favorite song, whatever it was, new song. Well, I had actually taken some blank tapes, and this hair salon I used to go to on the north side. And this may sound familiar to you, DJ Stoopy. You were in Chicago. And they used to have different clubs on the north side. And you can party on the north side, and the music was, really good. So when I used to go to this hair salon, it's this DJ used to work in the salon, or at least he used to hang out at the salon. It was a mixed, place. And I gave him some blank tapes, and he would, give me a couple of mixes. And I mean, this mix was good. Nobody had it because why? A DJ made it. It's not something you can record. You couldn't buy it in a store. This was purposely made just for me. Oh boy, I was so happy. I was jamming. I put in the car, cruising. Hey, hey, enjoy myself. And only thing I can really remember that was on that tape was the Mary J. Blige. And I don't remember the song because at that time, I think it was the 911 CD was out. And he had her mixed in there. And I mean, it was so cool. And one day I came home and I, push play. And there's some church music over
No.
my specialized,
Oh.
customized
Oh.
cassette tape.
Who did this?
The boyfriend at the time.
Oh. Oh.
I could not believe it. I looked at him and I know my stare probably cut a hole in him
Mm-hmm.
because
Hmm.
I just like, could you please explain to me why this particular song that you heard that more than likely because it's on WGCI, they're going to play it again.
Right.
Why did you have the need to take the cassette tape that was in the thing,
Mm-hmm.
break? I don't know. Let me see. No, you covered the seal because the seal was broken. You covered the seal to record over it for that song.
Mm-hmm.
I just want
Mm-hmm.
to know why. That was 20 some years ago, and I'm still waiting on an answer.
He still didn't answer, man. Well, that was a quick end to a relationship. Yeah, don't worry. No one blames you.
You,
We all still think you did the right thing.
I'm like, I can't replace that. And I think at that time, I don't think I was going to that same hairdresser because I think she ended up losing the shop.
Mm.
Um, cause shoot, the night I was there, I think the woman ain't had no heat.
Oh no.
Yeah, she didn't have any heat. She was saying that something happened, but I found out later through my hairdresser that worked there. That had a chair there. He's like, no, the woman just didn't pay. That's all that was.
Hey.
But
Mm.
that was it. I lost connection with the DJ and never to get a lovely mix like that again. Customized.
Oh. Oh. That's rough. That's rough. Mm.
Wah wah wah.
Mm. Mm-mm. Girl, I think we all can feel a little of that pain at some point. Something recorded, whether it's on tape or VHS off of MTV, BT, Much Music in our case, whatever it is. There's music videos out there or music, and you made that perfect mix or some of it. Oh man, girl, that reminds me. And this is not actually my thing. This isn't my thing, but it's actually has haunted me all this time. My
Okay.
mom, when she went to Jamaica, this one time without me, I still haven't forgiven her. I bring it up, and what I do, I joke around about it, right? But like, there's a part of me that didn't forgive her still. I was like maybe 7 years old, and 7, 8 years old, and she went to Jamaica without me, which that's not the big deal. The big deal is she went on Christmas break, which means for the first time in my little 7, 8 years, I was gonna have Christmas without her, right? And me, my little heartbroken. You don't understand. Like, I walked around and like I would hear the song "I Will Always Love You" and burst into tears because I didn't understand why my mom didn't love me anymore. Because if she did, she wouldn't leave me on Christmas. I was devastated. Anyway,
Oh.
I know I really was. Like, I'm telling you, only child syndrome is a big deal. So anyway, not the point. So she comes back from Jamaica and she's got all this new music. And it's mixtapes. So back then, they're not like mass manufactured mixtapes where, there's big lists written out and whatever. It's a bunch of people who recorded a bunch of stuff on tapes and is selling it. And so I remember there was a few songs that really stuck with me, and I didn't know what any of them were called. And the thing is, I was very young at the time, and my parents didn't speak patois. So a lot of the song, and they're not going to teach me the words. I was young. So, I have to try to go by the few words I had picked up and try to ask people, do you know a song? And like all I remember of the words is, and I would remember like 4 words of the whole song and be like, do you remember that song? Right?
Oh.
And I'd be like, yeah, like, okay, so there's this song and it's like Mina fight over man. Remember, do you know that song? And people would be like, what are you talking about? Okay, give me more of the song. What's the tune? I don't remember. I just remember that and I loved it. Girl's
Hmm.
voice is higher pitched, not too high, not annoying high, but just higher pitched. And like that's all I had for you. Like I could not figure out what the rest of the things were. So, it's been this perpetual hunt throughout my life of trying to find the songs, and I found 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. And one I found earlier. Um Two, actually, my husband figured out because he kind of did like the amateur DJ thing and he just knows music. And
Hmm.
so I don't know, somehow he knew my mind. So when I used my 2 words as a keyword, he was able to pull up a couple of the songs. I'm like, yes, that. How did you know? Um, and then, but the last one can't figure out, and no one can figure it out. And the thing is, I don't remember. It's the song I think I know the most words to, which is weird. It's just because I think it's funny because it's like rice and peas and rice. Anything you eat, make sure it tastes nice. Hold him, control him, and give him a slice. And I remember that so clear. I thought it was hilarious as a kid,
Right.
and I didn't realize it's referring to sex stuff because it's like the chorus
Right.
is like perform if you know your man's betting, right? Basically, if you know your man at bet. So I was like, okay, like that's what, but I didn't understand that it meant sex like at all. And I remember how it sounds in my head, and I remember so much words from the song. It's not like 3 words. This should be the easiest one out of all of them, but I think it's an older song. It's an older song than the other ones. Cannot. As we can find this song, anybody, if you're listening to this farewell conclusion tour that we're doing right now, and you can tell me what the hell this song is. For the love of all things holy, please do. But no, that's not my thing. My thing is actually 2 things, and I lost them both within the same couple months, and I'm pretty sure it was the glamorous whore that I knew at 15 that stole both of them. Not the point. One was my yearbook. Ninth grade is
Mm.
the only yearbook that I actually got signed by everybody. So like that yearbook is the only kind of indication that I actually had friends in high school at all. And like we had all these inside jokes and this and that, and so it was like heavily signed. And my yearbook disappeared, and that devastates me. But the thing that I think
Mm.
was probably, and I mean that it does, it bothers me, but the thing that bothers me more is I had this like I used to have, and I have all the other ones, not this one though. I used to have like notepads, like the like books kind of thing. It looks almost like, I guess, what would be a diary for most people, but for me that's what I wrote my spoken word poetry, um my songs. So I would write songs and stuff, and I would just write, and I had so much stuff in there, and it was so good, so well thought out. I had transferred all of my really old stuff from when I was even young into it. And yeah, one day it disappeared. And I thought I'd left it on the bus, like on the public transportation bus. And I went scouting for months, going from, the lost and found to lost and found and stuff like that, just trying to find this thing of the poet. And I wrote this one called Music is My Life, and I can't remember. I can't remember. It was so good, and it was so deep, and it was so me. And it was just like literally trying to explain to people what music meant to me, and it was like it so hit it on the head. Can't remember it, and it's the only place I ever wrote that one down is in that book. So I couldn't even get it back, and I lost it forever, and there's no way of getting it back. And I'm like, yeah, again, 20 years later, haven't forgotten Music is My Life. I still sit down and try to remember Music is My Life. It's all I got, and I wouldn't say it if it wasn't what I really thought. I sit down trying to remember the lyrics, and I can't. It's just, it haunts me to this day. So sad. Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, there's a song. Shoot, I think I may know four. You said four words.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, there's something out there. I don't even know the words. I just know it has like a Caribbean sound to
See?
it, and it has which female rapper says uh ooh nah nah is it between the Foxy Brown and the other lady.
Well, Il Nana is Foxy.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it was Foxy Brown
Mhm.
and some guy, some islander, and that song was on.
Mm.
I had downloaded it because it said at that time they had you were able to sneak and, download songs some kind of way.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it said one thing, but when I downloaded, it was different. And even that was the best accident I ever had in my life because I'm like, oh, wow, this song is really cool. You would never be able to find it. But I didn't know the name because it wasn't the name of what, I was supposed to download. And because it was on an iPod, and the iPod, when iPod was first made,
Mhm.
I got that one. So we call those bricks because
Oh.
they don't make them anymore. It wasn't
Mhm.
even worth getting the battery. I don't even think they sold a battery, but it wasn't even worth replacing that particular battery because it cost as much as a newer model of iPod, which by the end they had the touch pad and everything. So
Mhm.
I couldn't even charge it up to say, "Hey, can you hear this?" So I don't
Mhm.
know. And I called myself Googling and seeing who she, collaborated with to see if I can find it. But that's it. I'm sad and welcome, Regina.
That's it. I'm sad. And hey, Regina. Now we're all depressed thinking about this like stuff we lost we
Oh,
can never get back. But on
oh
that
no.
note, hey, Regina, glad to
Right?
see you
Okay,
again.
let's start that and stuff. Good evening, ladies.
Hey, honey.
Good evening.
Hey, loves. How y'all doing?
So glad to see you. You know, I am always glad to see you. Always
Oh,
a
It's a
pleasure.
same,
pleasure. Hmm.
same
Mm,
here. Same here for the both of you ladies. Such lovely spirits. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
thank
you.
you. I
Yeah.
try so hard. I mean, no, I'm
No,
joking.
you don't. No, you don't.
No, I
You don't
don't.
have
No,
to
I
try.
don't.
You
Mm-mm.
don't have to try. Nope.
Aw, thank you. I love you. See? And everyone wonders why I love her. Come on.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, this time was my first time not listening in. I started listening on Facebook Live and then had to get off and take a call. So this is my first time chiming in without listening in before. I was sharing with Char, I try to listen in and try to see if I, like double Dutch trying to get in, where I can see where I can insert myself. But this time
Right.
I didn't. I just jumped on in.
Oh, yay. Good.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you can
Yeah.
ask Star. I ask for you all the time.
Oh,
I
that
do.
touches my heart. Well, we must stay in touch, of course, because
I
I
agree.
really miss talking with you guys and sharing and listening to different perspectives of things. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is I agree. Truly love you guys so much and love talking to you guys. So
Yes, man, well, there's so many questions that have come up over the time, and I'm like, man, I
Hmm.
wish Regina was here to answer this too. See,
oh wow. Oh, oh wow.
ah, I wish I knew
Oh,
you were coming. I would have written down a list of throwback questions. Hey, here's one of the juicy ones you weren't here for before. You know what
oh,
I mean?
right. Yes. And see, that was my thing. I would take notes while I'm listening. See, I would take notes. Because I need to be able to reference back.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta be on it now. Yeah.
That's
But
organization. All right
you,
then.
Hmm.
yeah, now there's some areas where I need more organization now, but that's one thing. There's some areas where I do, but for the most part, especially when we're talking about something that can benefit and support folks, and help them grow. That my thing is, if I'm going to help you, if I can in any way, if I can provide any input in any way, then yeah, I'm going to be serious and try to be as organized as I can.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you guys over here being sad and pulled out the violins about songs that you can't remember anymore, really? Y'all better stop it. Y'all better stop.
This is a good song. You know, a song like vibes with your soul, but you don't know
Right.
why, what it's called. It's like it speaks to you, and then someone takes it from you, and you can never get it back because who are you asking for
Oh,
it?
goodness. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, and I do understand. I do because I love music. Look, my theme song is the OJ's I Love Music. That I love
See?
music. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of music. Yeah.
Well, then you know. This
Yeah.
it's just
Oh
it's
yeah. Oh yeah.
someone takes away sound from you one day. Suddenly everything goes back to being dull and like, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
no, it's good. Mm-hmm.
Oh, trust
I
me, I
bought my
understand.
yeah, you bob your head to everything else. It's not the same. It doesn't speak to you, you
Yeah.
know.
That's right. That's right. That's one thing that is a universal language. You can listen to any kind of music, any genre and relate,
Hmm.
and still
So true.
be able to relate.
So true. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, well, I don't know. I find, which is I always think is interesting, because even like races that don't have a lot of rhythm, like as far
Mm-hmm.
as I don't mean like rhythm as far as their dancing, I mean to their music. Like they don't really have a lot of bass and stuff in their music.
Mm-hmm.
Feel they feel bass. They love bass. When they hear music that has bass, they gotta get more of it. They want to dance to it. They know exactly what to do to bass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they don't have bass in their music. So it's like, y'all feel bass. Why don't you start creating music with bass in it? Just why is it always synth or, like
Right.
where's the part that makes your soul feel like it's on fire,
Right.
But what I noticed, and I remember we were having this discussion once, and I was just saying, I'm like, Americans don't really have bass like that. Like, it's not the kind of bass that I need. So for example, there's a song "Down on Me" by Jeremiah.
On me, put it down on me.
Yes, and that song to me, it would
Ooh.
literally be the sexiest song on earth if it had bass. And everyone's like, "Oh, it has bass." I'm like, "It doesn't. It doesn't have what I'm talking about. I'm talking about reggae bass. There's a there's a place where it goes down where in reggae music it would have a bass hit to it,
Really?
and I'm like, I feel the absence of that bass hit because it's such a sensual song to me that having that in there, I could feel the like I could feel where it should be, and then it's not there. And then every time it's not there, I lack it. And I hate that I lack it because I love this song. Like, I love the song. Don't get me wrong. I still love it anyway.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I wish I could get the bass put into it. I wish I could figure out a way of me knowing how to make music just so I could put bass into this one song. Yeah. One song. Yeah. It needs
Okay.
it. Yeah, it really does. And like and I wasn't able to, I actually had to pull out music and compare and say, see what this song sounds like, see the bass. And it's like, oh, you don't mean like a bass guitar. I'm like, no, it's not a bass
No,
guitar, bass
yeah,
drum. Like, it's like
yeah.
it's a different kind of bass. It's still bass, but it's a different kind of bass.
It's not the 808, is it, that you, because you know that what was the little song that the little girls are the boom like a 808, because that's a bass drop
Hmm.
as well. The actual, they call it 808. Not, I'm not sure if it's because of the instrument that they're using or the what it is, but it's something that connects because Beyonce talks about it as well. Something, and Jigga always have talked about the 808.
Well, I've only,
Mhm.
okay, honestly, the only time I can even remember the word 808 is from
It's
that The Way You Move song. And it's like, I know y'all wanted that 808. Can you feel that BASS? But I never know what
right,
it meant. Yeah, I
right.
didn't, yeah, I
So
don't
I
know what it is.
so from my understanding, it was the backdrop of a song that you were listening to. It was the actual beat. That's what I remember.
Oh.
Um, Someone sharing with me. So, but don't quote me. I just love music and just love to dance. So don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. I might have to Google it and get some more information. But yeah. Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Huh. Honestly, I'm like, I legit couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know how to create the sound. I just
Hmm.
know that I like the sound.
Too Short used the 808 bass sound. DJ Snoopy is telling us Too Short used the 808 bass sound a lot in his music. Oh yeah, Too Short has some nice bass in his music. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Remember that I'm Jamaican Canadian.
Oh,
And I'm first generation born here. So,
mhm.
to like my parents' music was reggae, and then like Canadian music, which was mostly like 80s rock. So, rap like didn't make it here until like
Right,
the 90s. Like, I
right.
mean, honestly, and en masse it didn't really. So like there's a lot
Okay.
of rappers and stuff I didn't even
Yep.
hear about until like my teens, 20s, and I'm too short. Like, I
Right.
couldn't tell
Okay.
you about,
That's
because
okay.
You were too
he's
managed for
probably a
me.
great guy. Yeah,
That's
I don't
okay.
know.
Oh, because let's see, and then DJ said that it's a very deep bass, like how the okay, I like the way you move.
Dun, dun,
Da-da-da.
dun.
Yeah, Yeah, I like the way. Okay, so when that song first comes on with Big Boy and all of them, what's the baby name? Uh, Seven and his Erica Badu's ex baby, the baby daddy. What's his name? Little boy.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, him.
Uh-huh, him.
Anyway, that song. So this starts out boom, boom, boom. Dun, dun. So that's the 808. Maybe that's not exactly what you're speaking of. That may need to be added to that song. Andre 3000. Thank you, Zero. Thank you. Andre 3000 and Big Boy.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Um,
song.
have you heard like dance hall reggae? Because like the
Is,
average dance hall reggae song is
is it
laced with
is
the bass
it's
I'm
a
talking
heavy
about.
bass? It's a heavy bass? Okay.
Yeah, it shakes the walls and vibrates, and you're pretty sure it might rupture your eardrums if you're standing too close to it. Like that that kind of, like, you can feel it in your soul when you're in a car and you have someone who has like a sound system who has the bass, and it's like this, supports that kind of bass. Like that's
Right.
how, when I was a kid sitting in the backseat of my uncle's car, like you couldn't hear people speaking or anything. You could barely hear the music. All you could feel was bass vibrating through your body and
Right.
vibrating your eardrums. Like that was what you knew about music. Um, and so it's like it's such a heavy bass, that's just naturally there. Even if you don't have subwoofers or whatever, it's already included into the music. Um,
That's what I was about to ask. Now, because we can create some bass. You can add a subwoofer and take it up and take it down, take the beat bass down and bring it up if you want to. But if it's already included in the song, then that's
mhm.
different. Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Exactly. So now imagine if you take bass that's already included in the song and then add the subwoofer. That to me
Mm,
is music. Like
okay. Oh,
that's my childhood.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you
oh.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I say no, there's no bass in that, that's what I mean. I mean, like, I'm used to that. I'm telling you, when I was a kid sitting in the back, you couldn't hear nothing. You couldn't hear anything because the bass was busy trying to literally shatter your eardrums, just trying to vibrate them out of your head. Like that was it. That's and then you get out of the car and your whole body would be vibrating for like 10, 15 minutes. It was like
No
hilarious.
way. No
Yeah.
way. No
Yeah.
way.
No, yeah. Yeah. That was my childhood. Yeah. So
No. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Mm,
yep.
that's
And no
cool.
one cared. No one cared about the effect it would have on our hearing, lady. The
Right.
fact that I have to have the TV up this loud and everyone blames it on me. Like I did this to myself. Y'all raised me. You put me in the backseat of them cars every day, okay? Like
Shame.
you created this problem.
Oh my goodness. Poor baby.
Okay. Shame. Just shame.
hmm
Can feel
Wouldn't
that
have it any other way.
Uh-huh.
Mm-mm.
Oh. But I mean, that does beg the question though, right? Because you have like new school. Look, I mean, again, so many unsafe practices. I'm telling you, you bring your kids to Jamaica and ask them for a car seat for your baby. They will look at you like you're crazy. Look, car seat? There's a car right there. It has seats in it. Well, you think we don't have seats in our cars? Right? Like, that's not what I meant. Yeah.
The drinking age at 18 alone speaks volumes. My kids had an amazing time when we went on a cruise. They can order their own drinks. At least two of them could order their own drinks. So yeah, that speaks volumes. Yeah, that speaks volumes.
Well, that being said, they just didn't know the right things to order, because you can order lots of things that have alcohol in them, high concentrations too, that they don't consider alcohol. See how that works?
Oh, okay. And they call themselves, and I think they were just excited that they could go up in order,
hmm
just because. Yeah.
Well, I mean, with that being said, I'm in my memory, the only reason why I couldn't drink in Jamaica until I did drink in Jamaica is because my mother wouldn't allow it, not because
Oh,
they
okay.
wouldn't have served me.
Okay.
or like anyone
Okay.
was checking at
Oh,
all.
okay. Okay.
Throwing it out there. But yeah, stout, for example. Not that I'm trying to help underage people get drunk in Jamaica, but they don't consider something like stout alcohol, right? Because it fortifies your blood, quote unquote, right? It's not beer, it's stout. So it's like they don't consider or malt. They don't consider malt alcohol because they're fortifying. So even though it's like
Okay.
10% alcohol, they don't they don't see it as alcohol. So
Wow. Wow.
carrot juice, which is basically just rum with a little carrot flavor. Um, yeah, it's not alcohol. It's carrot juice.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what they do. I noticed this in my child. I'm telling you, there's a lot of times that I was drunk and didn't know I was drunk when I was younger because they just lace things with alcohol all the time and then let you drink it and then laugh at you. Um,
Shame. For shame.
Well, yeah, that's how you do it, though. But, that's how I was raised.
right, and then they'd say stuff like "she'll sleep good tonight," and everyone
Right.
would
That's
laugh.
right.
Right, you know what they're
That's
talking
right.
about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because and I had an experience in my younger days, even yeah, very young.
Hmm.
My sister drank Morgan David wine, and my daddy was a beer drinker. So, and Char, if you remember our apartment, it was very long. So my sister
Yeah.
would be in the back of the house, and my dad would be at the front of the house looking out the window, and so
Hmm.
I go and take a sip from my dad. Then I walk all the way back to the back of the house and take a sip from my sister. Take a walk to the back to the front of the house, take a sip from my dad, and then walk
Oh,
into the kitchen. By the time my mom got home from work,
oh
I was
no,
passed out.
oh no.
In the middle of the house.
That's hilarious.
Because my dad didn't know that my sister was giving me something to drink. And
Right.
my sister
Mhm.
didn't know that my dad was giving me something.
You little shyster.
I
Okay,
know,
I
right?
see. I see you.
I know, right? Right. So yeah, yeah. And
That's
then,
hilarious.
"Is you okay?" And then when I slept a little bit too long, my mom took me to the emergency room, and I don't know. I guess CPS wasn't as, or with the Child Protective Services, Department of Protective Service, I guess they weren't that vigilant back then because I
Mm.
could have been taken away.
Well, at that
Yeah.
point, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to bring a drunk child into the ER. That is
Yeah.
hilarious. You know what? I'll tell you. I was an abnormal. They should have known I was going to become an alcoholic, to be fair. Because when I was like 2 or 3, like when I was like 3, 4, 5, young ages, and you go, "Can I taste it?" And
Yep,
they're and,
yep,
and your parents go, "You're not gonna like it," and you
yep,
go, "So I want to try it anyway." And they
yep.
normally let you take the sip so they can watch you sputter and look horrified, right?
Exactly.
Not
Hmm.
me. I
Yep.
took my first sip of beer and it's like, that's good. Can I have more?
Can I?
Actually, yeah. And what's hilarious, right? It's like, oh, I'll let you even halfway hold the bottle. So I took a little sip and I kind of made a little bit of a face. So I guess my dad thought it was a little bit funny. So he let me take another sip and I tipped the bottle so I could like chug a few sips of it. He's like, oh, no, no, no. Pulled it back out like, shit. Yeah, and then but he would only drink right as like my mom was coming to get me, right? So the only time I could steal sips of beer was as my mom was coming, and I'd be like, "Can I have more? Can I have more?" No, you can't have more. Like, go sit
No,
down somewhere, drunk.
no. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was about 4 years old. Yep, I know because I know it
Yeah.
was before grade school. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
should
So
have
you
known.
remember.
Yep. And I know, I think that incident happened when I was between 7 or 8. I know I wasn't 10, 11. I know I wasn't that age. So it was about 7 or 8 years old when that happened. Yeah.
See,
Because
there you go.
I had my first Schlitz at 5. I had my own first can of Schlitz beer. at 5. Yep, yep, yep. So,
Black
so
ass
drinking,
parenting, man.
so drinking, and then to have kids that I would let them taste a little bit. Oh, mama, that's nasty. I don't see how you drink that. I mean, up until they were through high school, like they were, mama, how do you drink that? Mama, that is nasty. Liquor, beer, all of that. Now they all luscious. Everybody, every last one of them. Now my son, he enjoyed it. He liked taking a sip from what mama was drinking. But the
Mhm.
two girls, my oldest and my middle daughter, they were like, how can you drink? And now you can't keep them out the liquor store. My oldest come home from college. Mama, guess what? No, she called me. Mama, guess
Uh-huh.
what? We've been on 6th Street and they called me a Jello shot. I said, oh, but wait a minute. You talked about me. You couldn't understand why I like that stuff. You know what? Why did I
Right.
like it? But they're calling your nickname is Jello shot now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the middle one came home. Yes, mama, I like my Hennessy. What? You
Woo!
What?
didn't you didn't go from
Wow.
coolers to, from the little water, did the little watered down drink,
Right.
whatever. No, the little Smirnoff coolers, Seagram's cooler. No,
Right.
I like my Hennessy.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
her Hennessy, not Hennessy, her Hennessy.
Hennessy. That's
What?
right.
Oh
That's
boy.
See, so it's not that they didn't like alcohol at a young age. It's just you didn't give them the right alcohol at a young age,
Maybe
clearly.
how about that? How about that? Maybe, because mama wasn't in the Jello shot. So yeah, I guess.
Ooh-wee.
Right? It goes to show you though how times have changed, right? Because no, seriously, in these days, like I am positive if I let my 4-year-old, right? I have a 4-year-old, let's say right now, I let my 4-year-old have a sip of beer, and I talked about this on the stream right now, that someone will be showing up tomorrow to take my kids out of my house, right? Like
Right.
I'm guaranteed these were different times, okay?
You're
Mhm.
absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah, because I was sipping, early. Yeah, like I said, my first Schlitz, I had my own can. My dad sat me up in the bar, on the bar, and he ordered him a Schlitz and ordered me one. And we sat there and we drank
Mm.
our Schlitz together. And we
Oh my
drank
god.
our Schlitz. We sure did. We
That's
sure did.
hilarious.
Yep,
That's so bad.
yep. Right on so many levels. But yes,
Okay, by the 80s, they knew for sure kids can't have their own alcohol, right? Like at least that was accepted.
uh,
Apparently, unless you were giving it to them by putting it on their gums to put them to sleep while they were teething, because you couldn't hear their
you could
crying
do
anymore. Um,
exactly,
right?
exactly. Right.
Or if you gave it to them in cake form or something like that. Because apparently, like I said, you could feed a kid a whole tray of rum cake if you wanted, and that was totally legal apparently.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. Y'all do have the rum cakes. That's right.
Mhm.
And you can
Yeah.
be tipsy
Real rum.
off of two
oh yeah,
slices. You were up
yep,
on
Yeah.
the table for
Yep.
2 slices of rum cake. Oh my
yep. And
God.
I
Yeah.
didn't like rum cake. And the thing is, my grandma, you don't understand that the grown-ups were trying to force me into eating it. Ruby, try the
Mm.
rum cake. It's nice. You like it? Come try it. They're trying to get me drunk off the rum cake for real. Like that's what they're trying to do. Like,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
but as we
Wow.
established at 3, I'm a beer person, not a liquor person. So like,
Yeah,
if it was
okay.
beer cake, I probably would have had the whole thing by myself. But
Wow.
um, mm, yeah, still not a
You
liquor person to this day. So
really.
yeah. You established
Oh,
your your alcohol preferences early in life.
early. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mine has um it has gone up. It started off slow, went up a little, peaked a little bit, and then went down a little bit, then peaked a little bit again. And I think we're on the downside of this again. I think
Okay.
so. oh, DJ Snubby said about the eggnog with the alcohol in it. Now that was a treat for me. Christmas time. Ethel would make sure she would buy the eggnog with the liquor and the brandy. Was it brandy or was it like a whiskey in it? But you could buy it already pre-mixed. You
My
could buy
Mhm.
parents
the
put rum
eggnog.
in it, but in all
Was it
fairness,
rum? Yeah.
well, no, my family put rum in everything though, so you can't go by that, right? I
Okay.
told you they put
Okay.
it in cake and
Yeah.
carrot juice. It's just that's when you put in shit. It's rum. I don't know.
But yeah, it was a liquor they would put in there, and now that was the treat for Christmas time. I could sip that too. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it
yeah.
might have been cognac. Is it? I think it might be brandy.
And maybe I'm not sure. Don't
Yeah.
quote me. I was just drinking. Look, I was just drinking. I was just
She was
drinking.
drinking.
There. I
I
drank
was
it.
drinking. I was drinking.
Oh man.
Oh,
Do not
goodness.
try this at home, folks.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
You know, I think though, but in all seriousness, as far as giving your kids liquor, and most kids today, yeah, they probably will, um, and be ugh, that's nasty, because just because I think
Mhm.
Mhm.
nowadays, and then will probably, end up being the lush that when I went off to college, it was called the bubbling crew. We
Mhm.
used to get bubbly. That was the thing back then. We going to get
Mhm.
bubbly. So we were the
Right.
bubbling crew, and we would hang out. So I think those experiences will probably come later, not as early as mine did. Maybe not
Mhm.
as early.
Mhm.
You know what? I actually, and I don't know. I'm of two minds. I would do one of two things, and I think I would want to watch my kid and see if my kid takes after me or not. Um,
Uh-huh.
right? Because if they don't, if
Hmm.
my kid takes after me, my
Hmm.
goal in life actually is to keep them away from alcohol as long as humanly possible. And just
Hmm.
the reason why is because what I
Mhm.
noticed is the older I got, the more scared I was to ever try anything to begin with. So, like if I had been introduced to, I don't know, shrooms or ecstasy or something at 11 or 12, I probably would have tried it, right? Just because I was
Uh-huh.
stupid. But by the time I actually got exposed to it the first time, where it was actually physically in front of me, I was already scared that I would
Mhm.
do something stupid. I would be the stupid person to think that, I can fly and jump off a building, so it's not for me. So,
Mhm.
because of that, I never tried any drugs at all, not one. Right?
Mhm.
Well, besides marijuana, but again, I mean, my family would feed marijuana to you in tea because you have a headache, so it doesn't count in my family. I'm just gonna
Gotcha.
say,
Mhm.
yeah, weed's
Gotcha.
not the same for us, but
No.
I will say if my kid takes after me, that's going to be my strategy. If my kids don't take after me, my strategy will be to introduce them to alcohol early. And
Mhm.
when I say early, as in way before they hit college, like maybe I'll
Oh,
say
yeah.
15, 14, 15, when they hit high school, on
Right.
special occasions in reasonable amounts,
Right.
and and to teach them what social drinking is about, so they don't have to go wild out with their stupid idiot friends to try
Right.
alcohol for the first time because they would have already tried it at home.
Home.
um,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they would know that they can get it in reasonable amounts in the
That's
safety
right.
of home for special occasions. So they learn to pair alcohol with a special occasion and drinking responsibly, right?
That's right.
Because they might get a little bit too much inside of my house because they might want to sneak an extra half a glass or something, and then
Yeah.
that half a glass is too much. Now I'm helping scoop their hair off their, out of the toilet as they're puking, but you
Right.
know what?
Or
They're only a
rushing
little
them to
hungover.
emergency. Or rushing them to emergency.
Right, yeah. Like I
Mhm.
think that that's what I would do, just because I still think my kids would take like they would still be a little bit like me, and so I think the tendency to associate alcohol as something that you use as a medication for things, whether good or bad, they would
Right.
do too. So if I teach them that alcohol is a legal thing for a reason, it can be good when used responsibly. Let me teach you how to use it
Responsible.
responsibly. Yeah, over
Yes.
time. So by the time they're out alone, they're not going to abuse it. That would be my goal, I think. I don't know. It's one or the other.
I agree.
Mhm.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Because I wanted my babies. That's why I was giving them a taste early on. I wanted
Mhm.
them to, get a chance to experience. And then I get this, ooh, and then for them to come back and everybody is turned up, as they say, it was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I'm glad you did get a chance to experience, but I would have rather, like you say, for them to have experienced it with me on a gradual process.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like my aunt now, she like when it came to my cousin, she wasn't allowed to drink or whatever, but she maintained like I guess a really open, almost friendly kind of idea about it. So like I'm not giving you alcohol, but I understand you might drink. I'm not going to ban you from a party because I can't control whether or not there might be a drop of alcohol at it kind of thing. But I will pick you up from anywhere, no questions asked. So if you get drunk, high, anything stupid and you need to come home, call me. If a friend does, call me. And
Right.
she maintained that. And the first time she called because a friend got drunk, she came, picked them up, no questions asked.
Yep.
So the first time my cousin decided to drink and got drunk, she called her mom. Mommy, I think I'm dying. Why do you think you're dying? I'm drunk. I don't know. The room's spinning. I drank too much. I think I'm dying. So she went and picked her up and mopped her the whole time and, helped
Mhm.
her puke and did the whole nine. But see, that I think about that and I'm like, yeah, one thing for sure is I don't want to make my kids scared of me because,
Right.
otherwise
Yep.
they're
Yeah.
going to make terrible decisions while drinking. I remember I had a friend, so she was a few years younger than me. So they were like, I was like 24, they were like 21. And this girl, Stacy, she made the right decision. She knew she had been drinking. She had had more than one or two, so she decided she wasn't going to drive. And so she didn't drive her car, her nice safe car, and instead she got on the back of this dude's motorcycle because he hadn't been drinking either. Right now, he really hadn't been drinking, but what happened was as they were getting on the highway, there was this like truck that had been drinking, fell asleep at the wheel and hit them, and she actually not only did it throw her off the bike a fair ways, but the it I don't know what the hell got ignited, but something got ignited. She ended up lighting on fire, like fucked up
Oh,
50% of her face and
oh,
stuff. And she's a beautiful young girl, and over her trying to make the right choice, by not driving home while drinking, and she
yeah.
got on this bike, she still made the right choice. She got onto the bike with someone who wasn't drinking, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can't guarantee no one else is drinking. And, that still put her in an unsafe environment. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so the way I think about it is, hey, listen, if you're like you want to get home from you want to go to a party and come home at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
I'd rather you not lie to me. You're going to a friend's house. I'd rather you tell me what's really what, and I'll drop you off and
Yeah.
pick you up.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would share that with my kids when they were coming up. I'd rather get a call from you saying,
Mhm.
"Mommy, this where I am. I'm not comfortable. You're not safe. Whatever it is, and I'll come get you. I'd rather for you to call me with that call than for me getting a call from the police or the fire department or whatever saying, or the emergency room saying that you're in the hospital. Go ahead. Even if you didn't drive yourself, even if you're just there with somebody and
Right.
they're acting irrational, just let me know. I'll rather take that call than to
Yes.
get another call saying that you're, or even worse, that you're no longer here. I would
Right.
I would rather take that call. Those are the calls I'll take. I don't mind. And we even jokingly, someone just posted on Facebook earlier, how would family know if somebody kidnapped you, and how would you know if how would someone else know that that this is not the normal you? What statement could you post? And they allowed you to make one post. And how would somebody know? And I jokingly put, I've purchased a pet snake and we're having a good time today. Because everybody knows I can't stand snakes. I hate snakes. How would
Uh-huh.
someone know that something is wrong with you? But I said, but in all seriousness, we have a family code. And so if you
Mhm.
say that code, if you say that code in conversation, if you text that code, if you anything, whatever, say, hey, sweetie, how are you? They all know that if they even give you one phone call, hey, mama, and they know to say that
Mhm.
code. They know to say
Mhm.
that code.
Yeah.
And you have to, be in order to be safe. I wanted them to know
Right.
that you can still be safe. And I'm going to try to find you. We're going to use your phone tracking device, something, hit the pole pings or whatever the police do, whatever. But we
Mhm.
know that you're not safe when you say that code. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
made an announcement earlier in the show that this will be the last NeoSector for Women show that I will be hosting, and I'm going to start using my personal channel, the Just Like Shar Advice channel, and I'm doing so because of the lack of participation,
Yeah.
and I ran the numbers. Um, I got a donation today, but it's 59 days too late, and that's just it. It was growing slowly, but the need, unfortunately, was not there because the
Okay.
channel was, hey, it is what it is. So
Mhm.
I'll just be over on my channel starting tomorrow, and I
Mhm.
have a vision for it, and that channel is for advice. I wanted to do like one-on-ones with people whenever that,
Mhm.
people feel comfortable to do that, as well as pull up some of the letters, read them, and people
Mhm.
participate.
Okay.
Right.
Let that carry the dialogue. Okay.
Ye-
Mhm.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So um, that'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'll keep the
Um,
same time. And as far as in the future, I'll think about it through the week and I'll figure it out because this is, kind of new.
exactly. You can morph and change and add and subtract and do whatever you want. I mean, A, it's your channel.
Mhm.
B, you know what? Seriously, concepts change all the time. Hey, half the time they change characters, and what those characters are supposed to be in TV shows between the first episode and the second episode. Suddenly, a character will change altogether. Their personality will change. Everything changes, right? You got to
Yeah,
morph things as you go. How
that's
you
right.
do.
That's
Mhm.
right. Totally agree. And so I guess we'll tug on the ear. I'm so glad we had this time together.
Right. You know what? Sorry, right before we go, because I was trying to talk, but because I was off of the page for too long, you couldn't hear me. And
Oh,
I was trying to pull up, I wanted to make sure I got the name of the thing right. And then I was talking, and then you're like, yeah, okay, so, and I'm like, oh, Shar can't hear me. Damn it, I've been gone too long. Um, but it's just adding on to the conversation we had, and I'm not sure if anyone's seen it. If you haven't, you should, because it's an experience to watch it. Netflix came out with a movie called American Son, and I don't know if y'all saw it. It came out last year, and it has Kerry Washington in it. She's the mom, and I can't remember the name of the white dude who plays the dad. And
Hmm.
and honestly, this one show or one movie that honestly has very few characters in it. It's basically almost the entire thing is the mom, a couple cops at the station, and the white father. And that is an hour and a half. Now you would think to yourself, it's not a lot of characters. It is a
Mhm.
whole lot. It covers so many of the social issues we talk about on a day-to-day basis. But basically, it's just with the conversation we were having, it reminded me of this. Because, this mother gets this call about her son. She
Mm.
knows she's got to come down. She knows her son's vehicle has been involved in some type of incident. She doesn't know what the incident is. She doesn't know if he's okay or not. No one is giving her any information. She's losing her shit. She's trying not to be characterized as the angry black woman. She's like, there's so many things she's trying to do, um, you know, and not getting any information for the entire movie. We don't find out anything until like very close to the end of this movie. Um,
Wow.
Even when the white father comes in, at first the white father comes in and they think that that's the supervisor actually coming in because he's a white man, right? So they start talking to him like he's just one of the good old boys talking about the situation, talking about the black woman who's gonna go postal and
Mhm.
just saying ignorant shit. And he's like, oh really? Well,
Mm.
that's my son. So he might want to try to give me some, you know what I mean? It's just like, and you see the change of attitude, but not a change in information. And then as the story goes on, I don't want to ruin it for anyone. I really don't at all. But, it's just these little things we're talking about, all these little decisions that our kids make.
Mhm.
And not to blame them for the outcome of anything, but just to
Right.
say that tiny decision your kid made, out of rebellion, out of fear, out of this, out of that, can make
Mhm.
such a massive difference. And that, I think, is the point really of this, right? Yeah, sure, they're commenting on a bunch of social justice issues as well. Um,
Mhm.
but all of the what ifs that we have in our lives, like, you can't control everything. Even if you do everything right, doesn't mean that it's going to play out the way you want it to. But, hey, if we can
Mhm.
control that our kid calls us and not some jackass friend who might not know the better way to deal with the situation that's about to happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not do that? Or, whatever we can do to make our kids open up to us, trust us,
Right.
believe in us and be able to rely on us. I feel like we should do in this day and age, especially because no longer do we just fear the overt crazy attacks or something like that. There's so many little things that can amount to a really
Mhm.
bad night.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if y'all haven't seen it, it's called American Son. It's a
Okay.
Netflix presentation, so you have to see it on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's Kerry Washington is in it. Like I said, it's like I said, it's an experience. Like even I'm just looking at the title now, paused again, and I'm like, man, I remember watching this. Like I was just
Wow.
like, mm, yeah, I remember this. I remember this as a woman. It spoke to me, and I don't even have kids, so
All
goes
right.
that just goes to show you. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
All
Mhm.
right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Anytime. Well,
Oh.
hopefully, I guess sometime on the Just As Shar channel, since as we're going now. I don't know how much room there's gonna be for little old me, but I'm gonna try to sneak in anytime I can. You know I will.
Oh my goodness.
Always welcome.
And Char, I told you I'll be out here like I'm trying to jump in on double dutch. I'll just try to find and get in and where I fit in, standing out here ready to jump in when I can.
Yes, we love it. We love it. Love it. Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, you're sure welcome testing the waters. And thank you,
Mhm.
everyone. I appreciate for your support that you've given me and the channel. Thank you so much. And if you're interested, I already put the information in the chat room. You can Subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, there it is. This will be tomorrow. And hope to see you tomorrow night.
And if I could just say on behalf of everyone, because I know everyone feels this way, thank you, Shar, because
Yay.
I think everyone sees how much you have put into our Friday and Saturday nights as far
Yeah.
as informing us, you know, um, entertaining us. Like we've gotten some really amazing guests who have brought us so much. Man, I mean, Dia Miri, I'm still raving about her. Um, and thank
Yeah.
you so much for choosing to continue to live stream. I know it's not ideal circumstances. Thank you for starting anyway, man, because I don't know what the heck I would do with my Friday and Saturday nights without you. um so
Aw.
thank you for continuing, because I enjoy these and look forward to these every single weekend. And I know everyone else does too. And so, yeah, and I just want to thank you. We
Yes.
thank subscribers and blah blah. Y'all make it what it is, blah blah. Y'all know all this stuff. But you know, in real life, we all know none of us would be here without Shar. None of us would be laughing and having such a great time tonight if it wasn't for Shar. So thank you very much, because you put so
Yeah.
much into us, and we really appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
the time and effort to contact, communicate, and connect with people, that's
Right?
awesome. That really is awesome. And trying to get good, quality conversations and
And those
dialogue to create
stories.
the content, that's just
Oh,
awesome.
where
Yeah.
you keep finding these news stories. She won't tell me, y'all. I mention it all the time, even in private. She won't tell me where she finds these news stories. I'm like, where the hell do you keep getting these from? I am dying to know. Like, it's amazing what she finds, right? And she goes
Mhm.
out of her way to make sure that she finds us some stuff you have not heard from nowhere. I don't care if you've heard it somewhere. I've seen some of this stuff that Shar has brought here now being used by the bigger content creators, because where else do you find those stories? No one knows
Right,
but Shar. Nobody on the
right.
planet. I'm not even
That's
sure anyone actually
right.
wrote a story. Just Shar just found it magically by her. Like, that's it. So
uh-uh. Zero talking about Char as the keeper of secrets.
she is. She's the greatest keeper of secrets.
Yeah, but I appreciate all of you. And
Mm.
I thank Zero for the opportunity of trying to carry the channel. And
Yes.
Yeah. Yay.
I've tried. The people have answered the way they answered, and it is what it is. And
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
that's it. So
So
Screw
good.
the
It's all
people. You
good.
did good.
Yes, you
So,
did. Yes, you
yep.
did.
Mhm.
Yay.
You did
Awesome.
better than I could. Like as I said earlier, I can't even manage to run one channel. You run like three things. Like I can't even do one. Not even one. I don't even have a job. Like, really? Come on. I'm just saying. You're a rock star. Okay. Just
And see, and then I thanked her when and like midway through the other channel, but I had never known this little lifestyle of talking and all of that outside on YouTube was even happening until she introduced me to it. So
mm.
yeah, I had no clue. I did not. I'm like, you doing what on where and how, and what? Okay, I'll try to listen in. And here I am just loving it. Just I love the opportunity to get chance to get in when I can. So thank you again. Thank you.
Aw.
Yeah.
I love Regina. She's so awesome. Okay. Yeah.
thank you, and you're welcome. And again, if you're not subscribed to my personal channel, which is the Just Ask Shar channel, I put in the chat room once again.
Okay.
And thank you all again. Hey, Chaos, and good night as well. I appreciate that you came in. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
last minute, but
Yay,
hey,
chaos.
Mhm.
appreciate you stuck your head in here. And
Right.
hey, fitness mom, I think I saw you
Yeah.
earlier and you disappeared, but hello and good night. And thank you so much for coming through. And
Yay.
I will be streaming tomorrow, the first time on the Just Act Shar channel. And hope
Mm.
to see you there tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central.
All
All
righty.
right. Cheers, y'all, for the final time.
I know, right? Good
Peace.
Okay.
night.
Later, y'all.
Good night. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mm. Happy leap